like the sun. We will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come. We will rise like the sun. I will never run. We will fight. Fight till we won. We will bite. We will smite all through the night. We never sleep. Never rest. Put the faith to the test. The self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. All we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. When we'll knock at your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart. You will be burning battle scarred. We're tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate. Through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander. Infiltration, propaganda. After years this finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done.
Hi everybody.
Hey! We're live! Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Fumble folks here.
No countdown this time.
No countdown, just in. As we like it, keep it fresh, keep us on our toes. We are here streaming our long-form campaign for Rapid Riders. Let's introduce ourselves to our Rapid Riders. Going down the left and then going down the right, we're starting with Bree.
Hi, I'm Bree. I'm playing Diana. Just checking if it's come up. Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Bard of Eloquence / wizard. Boop, 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 boop. I read a book, got a thing. Cool.
You did both of those things.
That's what happens. If you've read a book, you're a wizard now.
All these things are
that's
facts.
That is all it takes to be a wizard.
It's been 28 years, I'm still waiting.
I know, right? Thing is,
Never
man, I don't think
learned
you've
to
read a
read.
book.
Read a
So,
book!
I don't think you've read a book.
Picture books count, right?
Yeah,
Either
sure,
read a
buddy.
book and get cursed or you become a wizard. There's like no in between.
Sure. Yeah.
I like it when they pop up at me.
That's basically it. She's a sun elf.
Yeah.
She's a nice tan.
Sun Elf, one of our homebrew races.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next on the list, talking of homebrew races, Ben.
Hi there, I'm Ben. I am playing Zeek Boomdiggles, the Way the Drunk Master Monk / Warlock. Fathomless. I am a perpetually angry, drunk little man. And
We're not saying it.
in real life, I'm just a perpetually angry little man.
We're not saying it. We're not saying it.
No, I did.
Yeah. There, look at that on stream. Hero Forge helping us make our visions come to life.
Yay.
Love it. Perfect. Next up is Doran.
Hello, I am Doran. I play the lovable half-giant Halite. He is strong. He is a fighter. He is a barbarian. One is a rune knight. One is a zealot. You can guess which one's which.
He has a big heart.
I have it's a bad heart condition. People keep making fun of me for it.
He's a big everything. He a big dude.
He's a very big dude.
He's
He has a big everything except for brains. He's got very
Ah.
small brains.
No, big brain, just smooth.
Very
smooth
smooth.
brain hours. Cool.
Yeah.
We have Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am playing Texas, the
Tight.
human Texas.
Texas?
Texas.
Texas.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
That's
Uh,
Texas' sister, Texas.
Texas.
There you go. If you die, you gotta play a gunslinger called Texas.
I will. I was stopping myself from stuttering, and then after it came out.
I know, Bridget. We love you.
I am the human of the group and the rogue of the group, the rogue inquisitor. But like big brain. Now apparently big guns. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Imagine
The
pull
old
the
wrangling
wyvern to
we
the
had.
ground. On
Yeah,
their
talk
own.
about Texas, just lassoing and pulling your wyvern
true.
out the sky.
We're getting you a cowboy hat.
And
I'm gonna make you worship Chuck Norris.
yep. Last but not
Oh,
least,
yeah.
Phil.
Hey, I'm Phil. I am playing Dunstan Dewey Fairfoot. He is the ranger of the party. He's part Dew Elf, part Halfling. The Dew Elf is again one of our takes on the Elven race. He is birds. I'd insert comment about birds. I'm glad that I'm professionally laying out who my character is. And you really have in-depth knowledge of. No, you don't need to know anything else, do you, birds?
Snow White with a bow.
Birds.
Yes, there's Snow White with a bow. There we go. That is. Yeah. Don't expect me to sing though. All right.
Oh.
Or whistle, really.
Oh, whistle. Can't whistle.
Yeah. Or whistle. Like my character whistles so well, he can command animals, but I can't whistle at all. So.
That's
But
why we
then
play
that's-
D&D. We
That's
have
the
that
glory of
fantasy.
D&D for the imagination. All
Exactly.
our dreams,
Play
like being able to whistle.
a fantasy roleplay game. So
Exactly.
Phil can whistle.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason this campaign started.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
So anyway,
Anyway, I am your DM, Sam, and I will invite you to join us back into our campaign as the party have been preparing to make a strike back towards the Empire, but seeing an opportunity to gain notoriety as a force for the people and make some money from the evil Empire on the way, they went into the Ochre Hills to kill some beasts that were harassing sheep and now people. They passed a farm on the way and learned a bit more about the creature before they engaged. They knew it was a nest of creatures, and when they arrived, they found some very angry wyverns that were not too happy that they were there. Guarding their nest, a mated pair of wyverns attacked the party, who successfully managed to take them down, although taking quite a beating themselves. We rejoined them as the dust settles, and with the last cacophonous crack of Zeek's fathomless whip, this chain made of indent rings, destroying the last of these wyvern eggs as the blood of the last of the pair runs to the cliffside.
you said last week that. Did you say it was that we all saw the figures at one point, or just?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whilst Zeke was unconscious, you could all see. It wasn't perfectly clear in the midday sun, but you could see these ghostly blue figures standing all around the rim of the nest as the chain writhed inside, slashing more like crushing blows towards the eggs within.
So we did see that.
You did see that.
Can we deduce that they were from Zeek?
You,
Probably.
I think, Taxes, Diana, I have to remind myself now, were up there close enough to definitely see that Zeke issued a command that they followed, or at least a non-verbal point, although you may well have heard what he was trying to say during the fight. You definitely saw that Zeke had the command of what these ghosts were doing. You no longer see them as Zeke is clinging barely back into consciousness at the bottom of the cliff. But the destruction that they wrought is still there as the chain rise back into the ground and non-existent.
Cool.
Halite runs over to Diana. Baby, you okay?
Not really.
Shit.
Like, she will like spit blood on the floor and just sit down like, ow.
Yeah.
Just really far in the distance.
Yeah, I
Stop.
kind of go over to the edge and look over. Like, you still with us, buddy?
Halite is gonna jump down there.
Seems to have got him.
Okay.
chucked
It's like
off
Yeah.
the cliff.
it's like 30 foot. I'll take the damage. I don't mind.
Oh god damn it!
I'll just
Yeah,
jump
just-
down beside him.
Just as the form of Halite
Right.
lands next to you.
And in the time he does that, I've taken my rope out of my pack, and I've been like, "Are you?" Oh,
I offer a hand to Zeek.
I'm good. I'm just gonna lie here a while.
Oh, lie up there.
Okay.
Lie up here.
Just pick him up. Like, jump.
Yeah, with the ring of jumping, the sort of lupine force within your legs as, Fenrir's blessing launches you up to the top of the cliff. I think for 60 foot, it's a bit of a tumble when you get to the top, but at the same time, you do manage to lift yourself up and over the edge.
I imagine I'm just kind of being barreled after being thrown over
Yeah.
the ledge, just like.
This high, if you imagine 60 foot is near enough 5-6 stories, it makes it easier to compare to modern day life. The wind is it's not cacophonously loud, but it's noticeable that there is a wind up here. It's not freezing cold, but you're about to go into December. It's not warm here.
I just kind of play Zeke back down. Ugh. Shit.
Oh. You know what? Can we try and not be so fucking stupid next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. Real talk now. Sorry, I got real scared right in the beginning. I'm real sorry about that.
you don't
No.
need to be sorry.
Yes,
Dude,
I need.
like,
Yes, I need
that was
to
worth
be.
being scared of.
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's scary, big giant lizard thing. But like, I'm the biggest here. I meant to be in front. You know, stopping this from happening. And I faltered, and I'm sorry. Thank you, Diana, for bringing me back to my senses. But you two, and he points to Zeek, and he points to Dewey. What you did too was also fucked up.
Alright.
At the beginning of the fight, Dewey, you ran so far away from everybody. It forced me to split myself from Diana and Taxes and Zeek.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, not being grouped up is a thing, so we don't get hit with multiple attacks at this, all together. But you went so far away, and then you went even further away once you broke melee range with the weird dragon-looking thing. So far, so Diana could even heal you with one of your spells. So just keep in mind, like, try and stay far away. You're a ranger, I get it, but like
giant lizard coming to eat me, run towards Diana. Yeah.
Oh,
Especially if you're
yes,
hurt.
Okay, no, but yes.
No, I know. I'm
To
sorry. I
be
was.
more like, if you want me to help you stay within, give or take 60 feet. And
Okay,
beyond that, I
yeah,
can't hear you and
I-
I can't see you. Okay, so we just gotta be, just
Stick
it.
together.
And don't do stupid things, because
Yeah.
then stupid things get me killed. And she looks
Yeah.
at Zeke.
Oh, okay.
Why?
You almost killed me single-handedly.
How did I moms kill you?
Because you almost killed yourself.
yeah.
And I had to help you.
Thank you for that, by the way.
How about not
Yeah,
doing it
me-
next time so that I don't die?
Well,
Okay.
someone had to be in melee with it, because
Yeah, and I
otherwise.
was trying and you were running away and it was going after you and I was trying and I was trying.
Yeah,
Why don't you come
it's-
this way and then have help? It's not all about how hard you can hit it all the time, you know.
Yeah.
like I get it, man. Like you can take a punch, I know you can, but like you being so far ahead, just left you being the only target. And I get you can take a punch, but like everyone falters and everyone falls. You need to be near people so they can pick you up when you get down. Like, and when you were already in melee with it and on death's door, you chose to piss it off further rather than defend yourself or get, help. Like,
I was
are you
trying to get...
okay, man? Like, do you have a death wish?
I wouldn't
Like,
call
I'm
it a
speaking
death-
honestly now.
I wouldn't call it a death wish. I just don't really care.
I thought you wanted to
We do.
fuck the
We-
empires. So you're not gonna do that if some scaly bird's gonna throw you down a rock, you know?
But
That's
Yeah.
not what's gonna happen.
it's better me dying than you lot.
But
Yeah,
I
but-
almost died.
Yeah, like you doing that forces us to do rash things to try and save your ass.
Yeah.
And you think I'm not going to try and help you? Like, who do you think I am?
I'd rather you help other people.
But no one else needed it. I mean, Dewey fucked off as well. You know?
Yeah, you were in the most grave danger. Like, you were unconscious, thrown, what was that?
Far.
70 feet from Halite's eyes. Down a cliff. Like, you could have so easily died if you landed on your head, man.
Yeah.
Like, Diana had literally no choice but to come and get you. Which almost got her killed, like she said. And
Well,
Yeah.
I don't mean to get pissed, but that's my girl. And you almost got her killed. Like, we're bros, but try and be more careful.
Try
Alright?
not to kill my girlfriend, please.
Like, I care for you as well. But, like, if you want to play that recklessly, you gotta say something.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a dick.
It's
It's
okay.
just-
He's gonna he's gonna sit up and just be like, I admit I ran forward. I shouldn't have. I don't know how far your spells can go. I'm sorry that I didn't think about that. I'm
Well,
sorry that I forced taxes to have to. Where did you get those muscles?
Yeah, what the hell, man, taxes?
Like
It's
this entire
crazy.
time, I'm so smug, but like,
Just folding her arms like,
yeah, I'm like the only one not injured. Okay, I did well.
and I was only hit once.
This is a question of middling importance.
Great.
Phil, has Dewey dismissed the battle goose?
Hang on a second. Let me check how long it lasts.
That's an hour.
It lasts an hour. Well, no. Then it's just
All this conversation, the goose has been watching in quiet but enraptured by the conversation.
properly like as people are talking. It's like head is like
Yeah.
sitting on top of a dead wyvern.
Yes.
I am
Come right-
purposefully not going to ask about the goose. I just can't right now.
done it before.
Pretty sure I can't see it. I'm too injured.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's chalk that up to experience, like the
Yeah.
experience of us having never fought one, let alone two, giant winged lizardy death
Not
creatures.
dragons.
Not dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
W-
Again, sorry guys for being scared. I kind of threw the whole beginning of the plan to hell,
It's-
which made everyone
It's fine. You're
act all weirdly.
When we're
We'll have to
dealing
see
with
what
creatures like this, things like aren't always going to go to plan. So we made some rash decisions, but that was mainly a split decision not to be inside something's mouth.
Yeah.
And I
No,
went
it's
the
just
wrong
like
way.
I was expecting a deer with wings, and I didn't think my childhood fear would come up and say hi.
I mean, a deer with wings would probably be pretty messed up to see as well, to be honest. But
That's fine. I thought it
probably
would be
preferable
tasty.
to that.
I don't even think we can eat this thing. It had poison.
Oh.
Gonna lie back down and just go, please don't eat the thing.
Also, Zeek, what the fuck did you do to the eggs?
Oh yeah,
I killed them.
scrambled them.
Why?
Well, they-
They're-
they-
Would you
Ha-
not have
it
thought
hatch into-
for like 5 seconds that we could have maybe used them
For
I mean,
to eat
I-
other people? I don't
I-
know.
I mean, they'd require a hell of a lot of looking after as babies, wouldn't you? I mean, like we'd have to take local people's cats and use them for food and.
When he's talking about
Sorry, I was looking at Bree's. I was looking at Bree's screen, and unfortunately.
Yeah.
when Dewey's talking about cats, I just look behind me into the forest of where all the tree branches are being weighed down by 17 birds. I'm like, on each branch, I'm like, yeah, the cats would have
cats.
to go.
I'm sure there are plenty of birds in the area.
A great slogan for the rebellion. It's like, hi, we take your
There's one on my
cats.
shoulder, and I put my hand over
We take
its
your cat,
ears.
we feed a dragon.
You put your hands over its holes that it has on the side of its head. That's what birds have, right? They don't have ears; they have
No,
like
they
holes.
holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have
They're ear
holes?
holes? They have ears. They're just holes. There's-
Okay.
I cover it up to
Hey,
protect it.
look,
Don't listen to him.
I don't know.
David.
I don't know. I'm not an expert in not dragons. But neither are you guys. Does anybody here know if you can tame one of these things from if you have it from a baby
Do I?
and they could,
This-
grow up to be some kind of not Game of Thrones shit. We can fucking ride them and shit.
No,
This would be a Arcana check or a History check for somebody who wished to make it.
I would only know.
Equal.
I would only know stuff about dragons, so not me.
20.
Natural
That
20.
big.
I've got a +0 on both of those things, but I got an natural 20.
I'm gonna reward a nat 20.
I had a
You
22
would
as
know.
well.
Oh, how would you know this?
Books.
I mean,
You would know through books that you probably read that you were sort of allowed to read whilst you were almost babysitting, so looking
If the
after the
parents were
house.
out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Excitedly reading about the world, which was far beyond what you'd known in your life in Benlicia. You would know that wyverns are a distant cousin to the dragons, far more bestial in nature. On a natural 20, you would know that there are those who claim to have tamed and ridden wyverns. You know the process is much easier if you raise them from young, from an egg. But it is incredibly dangerous. They are wild animals, even raised in that sort of environment, but it can be done. You would also know that the reason it's incredibly dangerous, they have talons, they have sharp jaws, sharp teeth in their jaws, but the far most dangerous thing about a wyvern is the fact that its tail contains a poisonous sting. On a natural 20, you would also know that tail and that stinger are prized for the fact that you can kill a wyvern and harvest that gland, and you can have a quite potent poison at your disposal. And you know that a lot of the time that these creatures aren't tamed because they're hunted to near extinction, A, for being pests like this, and B, so that people can harvest their poison.
Yeah, I start elaborating on that, and then as I'm remembering the stuff that I heard, and the tail, the poison in the tail, can be harvested to be used. So if we got any jars, jugs, anything we could keep the poison in, that might be worth.
I
have an iron pot.
I will hand over my empty whiskey flask.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I
There's nothing there.
need to remember what we're putting in here. I know you
It's
take some
fine.
potent stuff,
It's-
but
Change the
I
label.
really don't want you.
It's currently in your hands. Just don't hand it back to me.
I'm gonna go do the same thing, but with the female. No, I was
Yeah.
saying the male. The
Okay,
red one.
Okay.
I
The
killed it.
male was the last one to die. Female was there first, then male joined the
Yeah,
fight.
the one I slashed the throat. I'm gonna do that and fill my water skin with it.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say make a
Ow.
survival check.
No.
This is to delicately work your way towards the gland without bursting it, and then gently pierce it and get it into the receptacle without wasting it and getting it everywhere.
Is anyone helping?
Should we work together, Halite? And
Yeah, you can take it turn and turn, one helping the other, one after the other. I'm quite happy to let you do
I'm
that.
gonna
Yes.
turn to the rogue and go. Do you want to show him how to use a knife? As the massive lumbering guy with the massive axe and
Surprisingly delicate.
the gardener with the bow.
I was going to go with the eggs and
pruning
get some
those
shells so we have
hedges
evidence that we did
requires
stuff.
precision.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see the eggs as well.
Yeah.
Just to see if they are actually gone or just if.
Yeah, as they're working on the tails. So you're working on the tails, you're getting a trophy in order to show that you've killed these things, and then Diana's going to have a look at the eggs. So let's do the rolls for the tails first.
All right, you go first, and then I'll go second.
Okay, well, what am I rolling?
You're rolling advantage.
You're rolling a
advantage,
survival
and
check
then-
at advantage,
Oh,
because this is
survival.
about
And-
butchering a beast in a way that's not going to destroy the bit that you're trying to get.
Or hurt you.
Not gonna lie. Thank you for getting me these dice, Bree. As an 8 and a 20, so 23.
Another natural 20.
shit!
They are really good dice. I should have kept them.
I am a big
really
fan.
glad you got rid of those old dice that give you 12s.
I'm a big fan of a dungeon master called Brennan Lee Mulligan, who people might be aware of. Fantastic DM. He honors natural 20s by saying, I know it's a 1 in 20, but something good, really good is going to happen on 20. So I'm going to say you get 2 doses out of this. You so perfectly preserve it that you are able to bottle 2 doses of Wyvern Poison. If you look at D&D Beyond, you'll see what Wyvern Poison is. It is very valuable.
Very good.
And very potent.
Ooh.
Like, it's so good, they put it in the new D&D game, Baldur's Gate 3.
For those at home, I encourage you to get
not sponsored.
Not
It's
sponsored.
sponsored in my heart.
But for those at home who might not have D&D Beyond, I encourage you to get it. It's very good. But
Also not sponsored.
Also not sponsored.
Affiliated.
Hey!
A creature subjected to this poison by injury, so it must be applied to weapons, ammunition, traps, for example, must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 7d6 poison damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. The base value of 1 dose of this poison is 1,200 gold pieces. It's very rare, it's very potent, and you have 2 lots of it already. Halite, would you like to make your check?
Oh god.
Don't that one it, please.
Don't.
I have
Don't-
advantage,
no,
right?
no,
Because
If you roll in that one, you drink it. You do have advantage. You're like, no, I don't want to waste it, and you get it in your mouth before trying to spit it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that would make sense because that would mean like I succeeded, but I also took the damage because I spit what's left of it into a jar thing, but I still took the damage because I'm, sucking it in.
Please roll
I
better.
I don't know. I kind of want the natural one now. Dewey's helping me, correct?
Correct.
That is just a flat 20.
Oh, those are
Flat 20 is easily
Dirty
enough
20.
to get. Yeah, easily enough to get another extra dose off of this one. So you guys have 3 doses of Wyvern's poison. Potent stuff. Taxes. What part of the body were you trying to get? The head as a trophy?
I was going to go to the eggs to get shells.
Eggs
we
to get
can
shells. Okay, I'll say that you and Diana go together then to the eggs. You can see that these things are thoroughly destroyed. The blow of the chain, and like you can imagine a heavy chain just impacting across the shell. They're not small shells by any imagination. They're maybe just under an inch thick. Or certainly the one on the left-hand side was. The one on the right-hand side is smaller. You can see the one on the left has a very small, what could have been a wyvern. On the right, it looks a bit more stunted, even more. But they are destroyed.
No omelets.
No omelets.
You could probably stick out on that.
You could maybe make an omelet. If you believe and have a strong constitution.
I do believe in
I have
fairies.
both.
Yeah, if I'm able to gather enough shell pieces just to show that, we killed it and we also killed any offspring.
Killed its eggs.
Other than-
Yeah. I would say you would know that taking a head of one of these things is probably the best way to show it was definitely a wyvern. But that doesn't take much effort. That takes an axe and a couple of good strokes.
Hey, I have both. I want to take a
Good.
head.
Cool. I don't think
big
that
ones.
that's not delicate surgery by any means. So yeah, you take a little time to chop your way through
How
a
heavy
head
is
and
a
you have a
wyvern
wyvern
head?
head.
Quite
Heavy
heavy.
How
enough.
big is a wyvern head? Probably
Quite heavy.
like a
Horse head?
barrel, just
Horse
under the
head
size of a
size?
big barrel.
How heavy is it?
As heavy as a barrel or horse's head.
20 to 30 pounds probably, which is about 4 or 5, like 10 to 15 kilos.
Yeah, relatively light because it's a flying creature. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say 50 to 20 kilos actually because it's big
Okay.
teeth in there, many rows of sharp teeth. But
Yeah,
yes,
fair enough. The teeth would be quite heavy.
Halite will take both heads.
Halite takes 2 wyvern heads.
Hey babe, can I have a tooth?
Sure. I'm not gonna need the bottom jaws anyway. I just rip the
crack.
teeth out.
Yeah, this is a bit more delicate surgery, but you have multiple attempts, so I'm not going to make you roll for it. Eventually, there's just like a popping as you unleash one of the many sharp teeth from its sockets. Yeah, you have a wyvern's tooth.
Do we want to harvest the scales for anything, or the claws? Could we sell these pieces? If the
Actually,
poison's valuable, is the rest of the thing valuable?
I mean,
I want to use these heads for personal use, but
With the scales.
I'm fully imagining all of us just kind of.
I have
What,
plans.
what constitutes
Racking
as
my
personal
brain.
use?
Yeah, racking my brain to see if it's
Yeah.
gonna use them in a weird way. I don't know. Don't think so.
I'm
maybe.
picturing a ranged weapon.
For the first time this afternoon, me and Diana kind of look at each other without actually being frustrated at each other's
Like Diana is up for a lot of things, but there's
Yeah.
dragon heads here, and I'm like, what? Babe, is that for stuff?
No, I want to use them.
Oh,
I want to use their heads as shoulder pads
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Side eye to Zeek,
because I
fuck.
think it would look cool as fuck.
It's like,
You would, yeah. I'm gonna say that you've been around survivalists. You know that you can boil the flesh off these things and turn them into. They're not gonna provide much armor, but
Why
they're
would
gonna.
I fucking need armor?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. I have a tooth, which I'm gonna
Make
thread.
yourself even more rock.
Exactly.
Dragon skull shoulder pads.
Not drag.
I wonder why taxes is part of this group.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we skin these things and get the scales as well, or the claws as well?
Dewey, do you reckon it's worth it?
Off of that natural 20, it's a tougher hide, tougher than other leathers. Probably not much more, to be honest.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be worth enough for us to go to the time and effort to skin it or whatever. I think that,
Well,
if we want money, we could sell these and get weaker poison, but a lot more of it, if you know what I mean. But
Might be
this
good.
will
I mean,
have
we have
a kick.
We have
to
3 doses, so like we could sell 2 and like keep 1 for like
I don't think
really
we could
emergencies.
sell them to anybody in the Empire.
We shouldn't sell them into the Empire, no,
Yeah.
like into our
But-
own thing.
But also, it's.
Do it.
I feel like
Miracle by one.
it's. I feel like it's worth so much. Like to sell it might also raise eyebrows we don't want raised. If
Put
you know what I
them
mean.
Into little bird bombs, and then have the birds fly them.
Fucking
I
hell.
really do think that the birds can do some things that they probably can't do.
Fucking.
Mechanically
Mechanically.
in game, yeah.
Are we aerosolizing this poison and just using it as a chemical warfare?
Oh
No,
God!
no,
Yes,
no.
Moving swiftly.
I have some. Excuse me, D&D. I have some suggestions for the Sworn Keeper class. Biological warfare.
No war crimes, please.
No,
Try
no,
it.
It can't be a war crime because the Geneva Convention doesn't exist in this world.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
However,
That's me.
I'm moving on. We could give these to Splitlick, who could make them into some kind of thing that could help
Oh.
with. Okay?
You know Splitlick has made some kind of device with a small hypodermic needle. I can't remember operation.
I have the
Project Encore that delivers a
have
fast injection of adrenaline, basically.
That
Would be.
but this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it, it's like, can you imagine his face when you turn up with 2 corpses of this size with all the things in it, and how
I think it'll be normal.
No, he'll be very excited.
I'm picturing myself and I'm just thinking, very cool, but
just turning up and going into that little closet, just throwing 2 corpses at him and then leaving.
Amazing.
What if I cut the head of this thing? What if we get that robot's head and attach it to the body of the wyvern?
I knew you were going to say
No.
that.
No.
Then it'll destroy all humans.
Oh, right. I look at Texas. I look at myself.
yeah, yourself.
Yeah, you can tell.
They could try and kill
You can like
me.
smell it on you or something. I don't know.
It's really weird. It can, yeah.
Yeah. So
How far away from sort of any kind of sentient creature is this location?
Probably pretty far. It's like a
You're quite far into. You're like I think half day's travel into the wild.
Yeah,
is what we said.
I was just doubly making sure to make sure that we're not going to.
There's a couple of
a bigger predator that was then going to come around and scavenge the corpses.
I mean, you don't think I'm not keeping an eye out for this?
You don't think?
Oh,
so.
I'm not on about now. I'm on about if we left the corpses here.
Yeah.
fine,
You think that because you got hired to kill this thing, any bigger predators don't exist in this area?
Yeah.
For now.
For now. There's a power
Any
gap.
smaller predators probably got eaten by this creature.
Firewood and burn it? Do you think? Would that be a good idea to avoid anything bigger coming to pick it? Or do you think
Just let
well,
them
are there already crows circling?
No.
Just
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck do these things come from? Like, they're obviously not native to this area. Where the fuck do they come from?
They probably come across from the mountains, because he says trying to find the file with the bigger map in to because as far as I can remember, there's mountains to the
North.
left of me.
West.
The virtues of Osnan.
The virtues of Osnan are directly to the west of you. You can sort of see them from where you are on the horizon.
They're right there.
That's where.
Yeah,
flying-
You know
probably
that
come
is
from-
usually where they dwell.
But now, that concerns me. If these
Why
things
they would come
left-
down here?
Exactly. Why did they come down here? Like,
Food,
are they...
probably.
Yeah, but that means there's a shortage of food in the mountains? Like, why would they
Well,
leave their natural home?
Road
Well,
trip.
it can happen. It's just a case of if it's only weird if it starts happening like regularly, and if it's happening all over. If there are reports, and if we're getting, did we say last week that we were trying to get in contact with like cells in the other areas?
Yes, you sent letters sort of by this underground messaging network to all of them to say, basically, are you in or are you out, before you revealed any kind of location to them.
Well, it might be worth, if they haven't headed off before we get back, then maybe we also say, have any weird massive creatures come down from the mountains? Because that might also be something to be alarmed about, because isn't that mine hideout that we've got in that direction?
Yeah.
So it definitely might be worth checking in with them to make sure they haven't.
No, you're not going to the mines. You're going to
You're
going to the tunnel from this area that leads itself under the fort of Heatherhill. Basically what Harling used to take it back in the first instance.
How heavy were the heads again?
God, what did we say? About 50 to 60 pounds? Let's say 50 pounds.
Both of them, or just one?
Each.
I went to roll a few.
Down a hill?
Yeah.
Not this one. At least you don't want to, like, the ramping bit, that's fine, just not off the edge.
So,
what would you like to roll?
Oh, I was rolling hit dice, but one went over there.
Yes, you are all in a short rest. You absolutely are able to take hit points from your hit dice. Recover what you can on a short rest.
Yeah. Cool. That's one of those.
So Halite puts a string from where he cut the neck and through the mouth and just ties it and slings it on his back with both of them.
Cool. I'm going to say we're going to go to a break in a second. Is there anything else you guys wish to do up on this nest?
I would like to search the area for any loot. Like they killed some humans. Did they bring them back to the nest?
I like
Did they
shiny
the bones?
things.
Shiny things like that is what Halite's going to look for.
You make an investigation check. You can see a sort of pile of corpses, sheep and humanoid. There's nothing obvious, nothing that draws your obvious attention. You know what I mean? Obvious attention? That's not a thing.
13.
It's a pile of bones. You see some peasant clothes mixed in with there. You see a scythe. Clearly one of them was a farmhand and was just trying to wave a scythe at this thing to get it to go away, not quite realizing what they were up against. You can take that if you would like, but...
Sorry, correct me if I was wrong, but did you mention that there was someone who had attempted to be foolhardily brave and...
Yes, you learned that. Or at least Diane and Taxes had learned that there was somebody who was like, oh yeah, old Eldridge's boy, whatever it was, just thought he could take it and waited for it and just disappeared in the night,
Any kind of evidence of...
After consumption, they all look fairly similar.
Everything looks the same,
Yeah.
I also would like to retrieve my...
So maybe somebody will recognize the scythe. That's about it. Cool.
I retrieve my javelin.
You retrieve your javelin. Yep.
Pay good money for that.
Okay. As you guys start heading on your way back, knowing where to head towards the tunnel, we are going to take a break and we will come back. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. We will see you all very soon.
Catch you in a little bit, guys.
Bye.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Bye.
The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest, Put the faith to the test, the self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. What we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. When we'll knock at your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart. You will be burned and battle scarred. We're tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate. Through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander. Infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
Hi.
Our
Hi.
Hi.
our party have descended off the top of the cliff where the wyvern made their nest and are travelling towards an old tunnel that Diana has not visited but has been told about. A tunnel that Harling used to essentially sneak up from under the Empire when they claimed Harling's Rest, as it now is, but just the fort on Heather Hill as it was then. They are traveling on their way there. They will arrive there fairly soon. I'd say you guys probably have like an hour of traveling between here and there. The autumn leaves are beginning to run out on these trees as winter is fast approaching, leaving a crunching underfoot as leaves turn from crisp to slippery as the winter weather is fast approaching. As you're traveling through these trees,
crunches as many as possible.
Yeah.
take full advantage of the crunch while it's here.
Halite steps once, crushes twice as many.
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice sound. Oh.
As you have taken time to bandage your wounds, recover what you can from your encounter, as you go to investigate if this tunnel is still viable after all these years.
Yes. Sure.
Anything you guys wish to do as you're traveling along there?
Yeah, take a short rest in like at some point so I can get some.
Yep,
get
you
some
have
of them.
absolutely taken a short rest. Atop the cliff into slowly traveling. You've all taken a short rest. Mark off those hit dice. Mark off arcane recoveries. Second winds coming back. Things like that. Spell slots for our warlock. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like the winter because there's less sun.
That is,
And
yeah.
I like
You are
sun.
a son of.
Halite is the opposite. He likes the cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Very opposite.
You could say that the cold never bothered him anyway.
He never did.
Cold.
And that's it. The DM is out.
DM is on strike.
DM's
You're welcome.
We hit the straw. You got there, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
well,
yeah, we've been trying that for weeks.
It's like
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
I'm glad a 9-year-old Disney reference is what did it.
I'm glad that Disney just did that too.
But yeah, Teria, patron goddess of giants, daughter of Ivan, very much associated with winter. Yeah. God/goddess, I believe. Yeah. Gender non-binary. God. Deity. Let's just use deity as a word, shall we? Deity.
When I wrote it, I just couldn't find a gender-neutral term for God.
Yeah,
Because
or
there isn't.
God or
Because
goddess.
there isn't
There
one,
isn't.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Godex. Of
Godex.
Godex of
that's
hunting, honor, and
delicious.
patron.
So cool.
Godex of the giants. Yeah. Definitely know a lot about them, and they are very much associated with winter, being Ivan's child. But yeah, winter air is not quite here yet. You have a few days, and you have a plan of what to do on when that day arrives.
Yes.
As people are occupied with what would have been Ivan's wake, but here in the Empire is a different holiday altogether. Instead called Resolution Day, where people mark the resolutions that they will make should they survive the winter.
Australia Day, what?
Whilst also resolving themselves against the winter to come.
Do we know if this tunnel is far enough away that it's going to take us a significant amount of time to travel? AKA, are we going to sleep before we go into the tunnel?
No, like I said, it's going to be about an hour before you get there. Right? This is the travel between here and there. You're making a pretty direct route to it, and then you'll probably be back in Harling's Rest just before this time of year, probably as night falls.
Cool. In that case, then I'm gonna. It's as good a time as any. I'm gonna wander up to Diana, just as I'm guessing Hal is repeatedly doing his thing.
There's a crunch, crunch, crunch as you increase your pace to match Diana's.
Yeah, just.
Hi.
I'm not good at this, so please give me a second to try. I am sorry that I acted impulsively. I am not used to fighting with people that care about me.
That's fair. I accept your apology.
Can I ask a favor? I'm gonna grab the bottle of gin that I've got on my back and just gonna hand it to her and just go, please stop me from drinking this.
Okay, this isn't the poison, right?
No, it's the gin.
Oh, okay.
Dewey has the poison.
Dewey has the poison.
It was the whiskey that had the gin, that had the whiskey that had the poison of the gin. Okay,
yes. This is still legitimately got gin in it.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I will do that.
If I am going to be useful to you guys, then I need to stop being in a haze all the time, and I can't trust myself to not.
Cool. I will do that.
I am going to be very grouchy over the next couple of days.
Do you want to not drink at all, or do you want to still drink when we drink?
I think that is something I'm going to trust all of you to make the decision for me.
Okay. I will take this, and I will dispose of it.
He's gonna hand it to you and just kind of hold on to it, like, and then just have to make the physical point of letting go of it to move away from it. Like, I'm gonna go because I'm too near it, and then just gonna push on further forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm proud of you. I know. What else?
I'm proud of him too.
What else can I say that's so gross? I don't know.
Stop being friendly. I like the previous relationship.
As you push on forward, there is a sort of lower hanging branch, and sat on top of it, you see the ghostly figure of a gnome woman, an older gnome woman who looks down at you and goes, "Oh, come on, some fun." And as she is saying that, you watch as she is pushed from behind off of a tree by a large-looking dragonborn man. as she goes, "Whoa!" and just disappears into a cloud of smoke on the ground in front of you. And the Dragonborn looks down at you with respect and nods as he too disappears from your field of view. Nobody else sees this again, but Zeek.
Just enough. There's enough consciences up here already. Stop it!
I just kind of look at Zeek and look at the gin like, yeah, that makes sense. Give it a swig and then put it in my bag.
Fair enough.
It tastes awful. It
tastes awful. It tastes lavender.
Does it taste awful, or just does it taste awful to these guys?
It tastes floral, which is to some people's tastes.
That's fine.
Not everyone's.
We described it as very, very old, very out of date, very, very poorly made elderflower gin.
That'll do. It's fine.
Lavender. Still, yes.
Lavender. Close enough.
I'm okay with this. It's very. I wouldn't say nice. I would just say that. It's just
strong.
It is what it is. I think I don't know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm not gonna spit it out. Okay. Anyway.
Anybody have any conversations they would like to have apart from that on the journey to this tunnel?
I was gonna say, can I do perception checks as we walk?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, absolutely. Pair of you make perception checks.
Gonna make the use of the daylight and have advantage. Oh, nice! I have a natural 20.
Oh, 21.
21. Both of you see animals in the immediate area around where the wyvern made its nest. Nothing. It's deathly silent. But after you've traveled maybe 20-30 minutes, you see wildlife is present, slowly becoming more relaxed around you. In terms of being watched by humanoids, anything that's really interested in you, not so much. On a natural 20, you notice, Diana, that inside of Dewey's pocket, there is quite a lot of worming around inside the breast jacket.
Oh, God.
Let him get to the poison.
Dewey appears to either be not noticing it or actively ignoring it, having been used to the fact that Wahlberg just gets angry and starts clawing at him when he's not been fed.
Dewey, what the hell? It's like, do you even remember you have a animal in there? Or...
Oh my God, Wahlberg! Open up the pocket. It's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, we were nearly killed. Are you okay?
Wahlberg looks up and notices the vast area has been abandoned by other squirrels and wildlife, and immediately goes foraging. Catches up and returns to you, but makes full advantage of. It's autumn, and all these squirrels have abandoned this area. I'm looting it, and by looting it, I mean taking all the acorns.
Comes back.
Because we also forgot.
Comes back.
Forgot to feed him for like 3 days.
Comes back, cheeks full, arms full of acorns, and just lands on your shoulder, just still looking around, looks up to you. You cannot hear them without casting the spell, but in the back of your head, you hear that same almost weirdly Bostonian Canadian accent of just saying, I'm good.
I don't have to share with my kids anymore.
He's all mine.
President, you know the
I'm surviving winter.
The Mongrel Squirrel from Enchanted. That's it.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh God.
I would say with a natural 20, you also notice that Halite is staring at Dewey, like intent, like studying, and then stops, and then starts again, and then stops. Think like he stops. He looks at him, thinks, looks at him again, and he's just doing that somewhat consistently.
Not a snack. It's not a snack.
Why are you staring at the ranger? What is that?
He's just so small.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
No, I, you know, I have a plan that I'm doing,
Oh no.
but I'm just, don't tell him.
I won't. What is it? What is
Oh,
it? What is
God.
it? What is it?
I can't. I'll let you be a
Do
surprise.
you want me to? Do you want me to take my headset off? Right.
No.
How?
I think I know what the plan is, but I'm not going to
God.
say.
Oh no! I like
Doran,
doing
does
everything.
Does
Yes.
FBS mean FBS? Yeah, cool.
Yes. Yeah. I'll approach taxes as well, not noticing that I'm being
Yeah.
sized up for something.
Yeah. Dewey approaches you with Wahlberg just greedily eating an acorn on his shoulder.
Taxes, that was amazing earlier on. I can't believe you did that. You wrangled a beast 10 times your size. That was amazing. Like, do you want? Would you make use of this? And I'll hold up one of the two, like vials of potion, of poison.
Yeah, we could. Well, there's.
You've got a
Use for
pretty
a pun.
gnarly aim on you when it counts. So it might be an idea. Assuming I managed to get more out of it than I expected.
I mean, that's impressive in itself. I'm not gonna lie.
To be honest, I was kind of expecting like some kind of disastrous get a splash of it in my eye or something and be blind by now. So I'm quite pleased that that happened. But it's like a lot of things now. I seem to be now I'm outside. Things seem to be coming to me easier, and I'm enjoying it a lot. When we're not nearly getting killed and eaten. Yeah.
Everything's coming up, Dunstan.
Very much. And I'll like if you want it, I'll pass one of the wyvern
I'll take it.
poisons.
Nice.
It would take you, I believe, an action to coat the weapon that you wanted to use with it. But once it's coated, it stays coated until you wash it off or wound someone with it.
Is it one-time use?
One-time use for each dose of the poison, which you have free. Cool. As the party are traveling and have had these conversations, and as they quiet down and no further conversation is made, Diana leads you to the side of a small cliff, recognizing a couple of patterns of this sort of triangle-shaped rock you had to follow. You had to follow the horizon around until it stopped. Things that you remember from if everything went wrong, that is where you had to go. And you see a, not really disguised, because it doesn't have to be all the way out here, beginning of a tunnel into the wall. It extends maybe 10 foot forward before stopping at a very overgrown door made primarily of wood, banded in something like steel or iron, but plants. Nature has overtaken this place in the nearly 50 years since it's been used last. Not inaccessible, but you're going to have to cut your way through the vines to start with. But that is what is in front of you now.
Okay. Cool. Should we go for a quick break again?
Yeah, we can do.
Yes.
Before we...
Just actually a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Because Fen is going to go.
Yes, I am going to disappear for the evening, guys. I am feeling a smidge under the weather, unfortunately.
That's fine.
So allow them to adjust where the camera ends up, so they don't all go squirrely.
Wahlbergy.
I mean, I've already got one.
All Wahlbergy.
So
cool.
BRB.
Yeah.
Yes,
BRB, guys. See you.
See you in a second, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. viciously, capriciously. We're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. When we'll knock at your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart. You will be burned and battle scarred. Tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate. Through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander. Infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test. The self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight. The end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. What we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock viciously, capriciously. We're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. When we'll knock at your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart. You will be burned and battle scarred. Tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate. Through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander. Infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test. The self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight. The end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. What we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry, but we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred. Tired of assault and bigotry, we'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate, through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander, infiltration, propaganda. After years this finally resolution, it's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test, the self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. All we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry, but we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred. Tired of assault and bigotry, we'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate, through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander, infiltration, propaganda. After years this finally resolution, it's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test, the self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. All we want is to be equalitarian. We will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry, but we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred. We're tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate, through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander, infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight, fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test, the self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. All we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry, but we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred. We're tired of assault and bigotry. We'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate, through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander, infiltration, propaganda. After years this finally.
Hey everyone!
Hi.
Cha.
We are back.
Welcome back. We are back.
Yes.
Unfortunately, one of our rapid riders is feeling ill and is taking the rest of the evening off. Well deserved. But we are going to keep streaming. I am going to be piloting Zeek as to the best of my ability. So nobody RP with Zeek because I do not feel like I have permission to do that. I have permission to punch stuff, and that's about it.
All the RP.
So if we
All the
RP
RP.
with Zeek,
All the ghost
he's
RP is
just gonna
coming
punch
now.
us.
Zeke's going to exactly react how I want them to, and it's going to be no, exactly. Perfect. Okay. So we are returning to the Ochre Hills, north of Harling's Rest, where you have found the entrance to a tunnel that Harling used to basically enter the fort on Heather Hill. A tunnel seems to be lost to time for the most part, as you are standing in front of it. Nature seems to have taken over the front of it, vines growing over it. Does not seem to have been disturbed in a very long time. What would you like to do?
I will. Have I been here before, or is it just talk?
Talk. You were part of the party that essentially went to the front to make them think of it as going to be a frontal assault, whilst Harling and the main force came up from underneath them, took the fort in one of her more one of her more clever moves that are spoken about in legend.
Darkest tunnels.
How dark are they?
There is this wooden door, like it goes 10 foot into the recess of this cliff. Before you have a wooden door banded in iron, sort of taking up the majority of it. You can see that there's little holes that have been poked through by the rot of time, but covered by vines. You can see that beyond that there is no natural light source in there. It looks pitch black beyond this door.
Okay.
But you don't know what's on the other side of this door.
Do we have torches?
So I got like a lantern.
Do you have torches?
I can cast light.
Yes.
Actually.
You can
It's
cast
one of
light.
the things that I can do.
Yeah.
Atuna herself gives us light.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's weird.
Yeah. If you reach up to the sun, you can pull some of those rays to your hand.
That's fucking that's actually dope. Never mind.
Yeah, or to Taxus's chest piece. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, and move them from your hand to wherever you like.
Do you want to do it to me if I'm going to be walking in front?
Maybe.
Or should I be
Can
walking
you
in
see
front?
In the dark? No.
Nope.
Ah, wicked. Pretty sure, like, you can cast a cantrip a few times at the same time. I don't know.
Just
Can you?
put all our lights on us. We'll be like those bright reflective gear for all of us.
Take all the light. And, yeah, you know what?
It's suddenly
One
nighttime.
For you, one for you.
Just drain the sun empty.
Yeah, if like 100 sun elves cast light at the same time, does it suddenly go dark?
Oh no!
But I know it's one thing. So if you do it again, it just like transfers over.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. Cleric.
Cleric, we're live, yo.
Cleric.
He says as a ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Should I try and open the door?
Yeah, I think like when we're walking up to it, I think like Diana will just like stop, and then like let's go.
Go.
Yeah, it's like a moment, and then like, hey, have some light from the sun, and then go. I think yeah.
Because before you open the door, can I check for traps in case? Because obviously this tunnel was used by the rebellion before. They set traps up to stop people from coming in to use it further.
Yeah, make a
sense.
Investigation check.
Yeah.
19.
19. You can see. You're trying to see past the sort of the foliage of a few like leafy vines that have gone through. You can see that there is, rather than like a doorknob, there is like a handle for pushing and pulling. It doesn't look like it locks, but you can see that there is a small wire just attached through the other side of the handle. You don't know what that pulls, but that certainly sets off something on the other side.
Ah.
There's a wire there.
Shit. I guess we've got to go around.
A wire where and how do we want it? Can you
do you guys want to step back while I open the door?
No.
We can try this arm it.
Oh, right.
Should
Do you wanna try it?
Like get to the side so we're out of the way?
I can mage hand it though if you want, but I don't think
Maybe that's.
You can talk me through it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'd say certainly would be able to give the help action by using Mage Hand.
Yeah. I could try and disarm it.
Yeah. Make a Thieves' Tools check to disarm this trap.
Thieves' Tools.
Me or Taxes?
Whoever is doing the.
Are we doing it with Mage Hand or are we doing it with?
Mage Hand's the smarter idea.
Safer.
Mage Hand.
And I just talk
but
you through it.
Okay. Probably a lot less. Is it sleight of hand or is it like what is thieves?
This is a Thieves' Tools proficiency check. If you're proficient in Thieves' Tools, you dexterity plus proficiency bonus.
Right, so that would be
plus
6 for me.
4 for me.
I mean, unless I disarm it and you just.
When I sort of hear what you're talking about, it's like I might be able to help out with that. Because I've also got mage. I'm also able to use magic like from a distance, but also for a few points when I was really little, before people were looking after me, I kind of had to look after myself in the canals. So
Oh, hey.
I kind of
criminal.
I just looked
Nice.
so guilty. He's like, I
Ah.
kind of had to, yeah.
So
But yeah,
I'm disappointed.
why do people keep saying?
Oh, nice. That's.
I don't have anyone. I
Real
don't have any
criminal, you?
parents. They were-
Really? With the birds and the. Nice.
myself. Like it was. Anyway.
Zeek.
Anyway, like,
Stupid.
can I help out with that? You know, it's.
Could do. I guess. Are we?
Do you want me to disarm it?
Do you want
Use
to
magic?
disarm it, but you're gonna have to be right up next to it.
That's fine.
Okay, go on. You do
Okay.
that, and we'll
Okay.
go over there.
Okay. Fine.
Do you have?
While they're doing,
You have these
oh
tools.
sorry,
Good
can I?
for you.
I have thief tools, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yes.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna look at Zeek. Zeek,
Hmm.
do you know how to use thieves' tools?
No.
I
Wait,
thought-
let me think.
Pretty sure
Let me
it's a
think.
no.
No.
Okay, I thought I was the only one. Weird.
No.
I was like, I have no idea how to do that stuff.
I play bagpipes.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you told me.
Hal, I genuinely think your hands would be way too big to use these little tiny little tools. They're like bobby pins.
Maybe.
12 plus 6 for an 18.
18 is plenty. The mage hand grips tight on the wire as you gently take a mage's tool, like basically wire cutters, cut it, and then pin it into place on the sort of fixed portion of a wall, so that as you open the door, it's not going to snap the wire. Whatever mechanism is not going to be triggered as you open this door.
No longer a wire.
I'm gonna
That'd
high
have been
five
bad of them.
taxes. I guess. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yay!
Yay.
Don't leave me hanging, man. Cool.
Halite move sword.
Yep.
How is your thing? We'll cast light on
It's a
whoever
bit rusted. Yeah.
goes
It's
first.
a bit rusted. There's foliage around it. Make a strength check to just wrench this door open. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to be significant.
Strength or athletics?
I'm going to call this strength.
17.
As you break several vines as you pull it forward. With the light that is illuminating the way, you catch a few things. You catch a few things instantly. One, there is a rusted bell that the wire was connected to, such that if you opened this door, it would make a tinkling sort of alarm noise of a bell going off. You see that the tunnel extends down into the darkness. Not too far. How far does the light go? I believe it's like at least 60 feet, isn't it?
Isn't it like 30 feet of bright light and then 30 feet of dim light?
Yeah.
Could be.
Then like that. Or might
Well,
be
2020
I'm
it
not sure.
said.
2020. Okay. You can't see the end of the tunnel, but you can see that it begins to bend around to the left near the end. You can also see a small halfling figure that is stood on just on the other side of the door and is looking out almost through you.
Oh,
You see a female halfling figure, hair tied back into a bun, looks to be wearing some kind of armor, and it's looking like she's hiding from around the door and is just looking through you, out beyond the party.
Is this the
Hey.
the it's not doesn't look like the bard that we know? No.
No.
Oh, okay. She was a halfling.
You know, Harling was a human.
Yeah, no,
There's been a lot of back and
leader of
forth.
the Harlings, Harriers.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like Vex. No, Vexation.
That's the one, Vex. Cool.
Halite just goes, "Hey."
But there's something familiar about her, certainly to you, Diana.
Ooh, girl. Okay.
You just can't quite put a finger on it yet. You say, "Hey," there's no response from her. She's continuing to just sort of like up against the wall, just looking out around.
I
And look to everyone else.
think there's some weird shit going on. Can I touch her? That's not a great idea.
Up to you. Are you gonna do it?
She's looking through us, so yeah. Hello, like right up to her.
Yeah, you wave your hand in front of her face, and she does not seem to pay any attention.
Touch.
You touch her, and your finger goes through her form.
Illusion.
She turns around towards the end of a tunnel and just begins talking. It's no use. The Empire, they must be out there somewhere. They must be close. Look, you two, we need to sit tight. Break through in the morning. It'll be fine. Come on, follow me. We'll make camp. And she disappears around the tunnel, and you can see just on the edge of the light as other figures begin to follow.
I follow. Run. I follow.
Well,
Run.
that's her. That's her, isn't it? That's her.
Yeah,
Halite
let's go.
moves-
Let's
Halite
go on
moves as
to,
a brick space.
Oh,
let's
no.
go on to the roll 20.
Oh.
As you guys.
Oh no. Did I fuck up? Probably. I don't care.
Well, no, that this could be her.
No. Maybe. Okay.
There's something familiar about her, but you
Oh,
don't.
here
It's
we
not
are.
like, oh, this is Sheila. You don't get that.
Here we are.
There's certainly something familiar about her.
Do we
I
get
would
it? Do we
like
get a?
to-
Have we ever seen anything? Have we ever seen pictures? Anything
No,
of
no.
Harling at all?
You guys probably would have seen like cartoonists things of Harling. You probably would have seen some portraits. This is not Harling. Harling was a human. This is a female halfling.
Oh right, okay. Oh shit!
I'd like to
I
run
thought.
after her. Yeah, no.
A Halite would also like to run after her.
Yeah.
Cool.
I thought
You
Harling-
guys,
Harling.
following the light, see this area reveal itself here. As you see, they have run off to the left and down a flight of stairs that descend deeper. And you see these are worked, carved stairs that are here. Sam adjusted this on the map previously, but I did not have time to move this over. You see in this alcove here, there is a statue that is stood. You see multiple arms, and you see a intense but smiling looking, I believe, feminine face. Let me check. Oh, technically a male face with these multiple hands that seem to be grasping almost a cloth. One is holding a mask, one is holding what looks almost like a paintbrush. Anybody can make me a religion check on this figure.
Halite will.
Creativity on-
10.
10.
12.
10, 12. Enough to know that this is certainly one of the old gods, one of the true gods. Certainly no figure from the imperial religion. Looking at their figure, looking at the sly grin, probably one of Tatuna's children. You can see inscribed in common at the base of the statue, it says, "Grant us for deception to fool our enemies.
Ugh.
Grant us for cover to keep us safe."
Oh, player versus character. I am not looking at that. I'm looking at where they may have gone.
Yeah. You see as three figures just move around the edge here, and disappear once again from your view.
And
Yeah, I would
despite
like to.
Halite's, Halite trying, I would like to keep in front of him, which is really dumb.
Cool.
Sorry.
I would like to, on seeing the. Do you say it's like an inscription about the grant us the trickery?
Yes, yeah.
Trick our enemies. Seeing that, I'd like to be keeping my eyes peeled for like just like trying to generally keep a lookout for anything that seems untoward, knowing that they're following this illusion or whatever it is.
Cool.
To keep a lookout for anything that we might be missing that's around.
Cool. You make a perception check as they are going ahead. You see another curved flight of stairs, and you see that these three figures, this time you get a good look at all of them. You see this female halfling, you see a male dwarf also adorned in armor. It definitely brings to mind the kind of armor, especially this dwarf, the kind of cobbled together but also retrofitted armor that a lot of Harling's warriors wore throughout the sort of final days of their stand. You also see standing with them, much taller than the pair of this dwarf and halfling. You see a femme-presenting human who is standing tall over the others with a big sword on her back, and is just watching them bicker. As you get closer, you hear them say, "Come on, it's been days now. We need to make a move, or we're not going to get there in time." And you hear the halfling reply, "It's like, listen, we have a mission. We're going to play it safe. We're going to keep our cool, and we are going to go. We are going to deliver this message, and we are going to do it." And you hear like a cacophonous boom, and all of you hear this. But it's almost like an echo, and you can't feel like any shudder, but you hear the boom. Has anybody encountered gunpowder weapons in their history, in their backstory?
Nothing specifically, but Halite's traveled the world. Not like
from where you've traveled, you probably wouldn't have.
Okay.
You see that
have I read about it?
Hi, Raiders.
You've certainly read about them to some degree, but to know what one sounds like going off, probably not. As the dwarf turns around and goes, No. Fine, we stay here. But if they've breached the walls, Gwyneth, I'll have your head. And Gwyneth is beginning to ring some more bells for Diana. You remember a female halfling, not really in a council to Harling, but you remember she disappeared a few days before the final push. But the Empire did and took the fort. You obviously hear all this, Dewey, but apart from that, it is fairly quiet in here. Make that perception check. Did you roll it and it's not on the roll?
Yes, I rolled it. 15.
15. Listening here, just over the sounds of these strange voices, just maybe a slight hiss. Not like a snake hiss, more just like pressure escaping.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
There might be gas. There might be gas.
Gas. Okay.
I already wear a mask, but I put my hand to make it tight. We'll find out.
Yep.
I care. Yeah, probably.
As soon as I hear gas, can I see if I can see it anywhere, like cracks or specific points along the wall that it could go out of?
From where you're standing, and we don't have it on the stream yet, but at the top of the staircase, you cannot see a gas, no. As you are getting further down the staircase towards where these ghosts were, and then you guys will see them just disappear, you're beginning to realize, yeah, these are ghostly figures at least. Especially as Halite goes around there, you see at the bottom of the staircase there is just a low hanging maybe a foot off of the ground. This white smog that just covers the ground so that it is not visible. As you see this in front of you.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
As just poking up and out, poking up and out of the smog, you see the odd bone and the crevices of what must be skulls just off of the ground. Anybody can make me a nature check or a history check at this point.
I'm gonna, because I've like run the whole way and Hal's kept up, but I'm gonna put a hand out and stop Halite. I don't know if he was gonna go in or what.
Halite was going to go in.
Yeah,
so
I'm
14.
gonna put a hand out to stop Halite.
You haven't done any mining in your past. You have been around people who have been blacksmiths and miners. You have heard of something called Trickster's Smog, which is like a natural. It's natural and it also isn't. It's as old as the world, but it's this gas that fucks with your head. And on the top of this staircase, you now look across and you see this low hanging fog and you taste this like bitterness in your mouth and you sort of stop yourself like, oh, I remember them saying like this bitter taste, it clings low to the ground. You can't remember what it does or how it works exactly. You just know it's bad to be in.
When I did some stuff up the mountains, I learned about this weird fog poison. It fucks with your head.
Don't go in there.
We have to follow the ghosts.
Can we tell how deep it is, like from the fog to the the level of the fog to the ground?
Based on the fact that these skeletons are poking through, and the skeletons should presumably be on an even ground, it's probably somewhere between about half a foot off of the ground. It's low, but Halite, you would know that that's the trick.
Yeah. Yeah, don't let the visual fool you. If the smoke is all around us, it's just...
Okay.
So how are we gonna get? Like we can't go.
Do I know if it's particularly poisonous? Like, is it deadly?
You know it's dangerous. That's about it. On the 14.
Can we?
All I know, it fucks with your head.
Hold our breath, or put a mask on?
I don't know.
Can we do that?
Like, when I learned about it, they talked about the taste a lot, so I assume it has something to do with ingesting it, but you can do that with your skin. Like, maybe it's just not inhaling it, it's just, like, it getting into your system.
Okay. I'm gonna do both to be safe.
I guess I'm glad my mouth is, like, pretty much fully covered.
I don't think I can hold my breath for long, though.
I can hold my
To
breath for a
clarify,
while.
You can hold your breath in D&D for 1 minute plus 1 minute for each addition to the Constitution modifier. So if you are 20, you can hold it for full of 6 minutes, down to a minimum of 30 seconds if you have a negative con modifier.
Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute as well.
3 minutes.
To speak, to use verbal components for spells, for example.
Here we go.
Requires you to use your breath.
Yeah.
I will say that essentially with
there we go.
a breath, you can cast 2 verbal components that require an action, or essentially 4, so half of one of them for a bonus action spell. So 2 full ones, but then you have no breath left and you're beginning to suffocate.
This would fuck with my second wind as well.
You don't know what this does. Maybe it's fine.
Though. I want to cast a spell first before going in.
Well,
you're very welcome to.
Yeah.
I will say at this point, as you guys are surveying the scene, you see the fog sort of begin to climb and swirl a little bit around near the corpses of these, or long dead skeletons, I should say. 50 years. They're sort of mummified. They're sort of mummified.
Totally safe.
You see these figures just staring and blankly staring up towards you. Their pupils are wide black. Not like completely blank and black. You can still see the whites of their eyes, but the pupils are huge.
Oh no. Okay, then I would like to
Rage.
no, yeah. No. The opposite of that. Cast the very last one I have. Mirror image on myself, and then put the mask on, and then get ready to hold my breath if and when the guys agree that we're going in there.
Halite does not put a mask on, he just holds his breath.
Well, there you go.
You see the
Because-
ghost, you see one of them, you see Gwyneth go.
What the fuck?
Alright, what's the plan? Are we
I'll
Try
take
to
my
get-
bandana and.
are we
make a
trying to get
mask
through
out of it.
these? Our job is to clear this place out, right?
I cannot do
Oh, it's-
anything.
I've never dealt with ghosts
Ah.
before.
Wait, was is that something I'm forgetting? Is that were we tasked with there was an issue in here that had to be dealt with?
No.
You were
so,
just going to find out if it was clear.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the idea was to, well, I mean, not technically not clear it out, but like
Find
to
out if
find
it can
out
be used.
if it can be used. This goes all the way to Harling, yeah. Harling's Rest.
This goes all the way to, yeah.
It goes into the secret passages outside.
I mean, I guess the good news is if these things are still roaming around here, that the Empire hasn't been through here.
They have been here
You
for
see
a long time.
the figure of Alex, this feminine human, just draw his sword on her back, eyes still wide, and just turn towards where Gwyneth is cackling, and just stabs deep into her chest as the figure goes limp, landing in the same position as the skeleton underneath.
Oh
That's
no!
messed up,
It's gonna
bro.
make us turn on each other.
Yeah, that's we go.
Oh
We
no!
don't want to go in there. We don't want to go there.
We-
Are we just
we
running
just go
through?
back-
Are we gonna leave, or are we gonna like run? Are we just gonna run? Are we gonna run
Let-
through?
Let me go first.
Oh
and
no,
I
that's not
can-
a great idea.
I can see if we can find an exit, at least, and then come back. I can hold my breath the longest.
I don't want you to hit me and kill me.
Well, just don't come in.
And that's leaving you in there. We had a whole talk at the beginning of this.
we had
that
we
we're not gonna
literally
listen to each other.
Yeah, well,
you
it's kind of.
lectured everybody else.
Zeke puts her hand up and goes, I know we've just done this, but I think I can go in there.
Ah.
He does have an ability that allows him to go in here,
Okay.
just as a thing.
Just as a thing, I'm gonna. Is anybody just sweaty?
No.
Yeah. No, I can't say that I am. It's like, it's just perspiration. Anyway, it's fine.
You watch as the figure of Fundath, this dwarf, looks towards Alec and goes, What did you do? And they just begin wrestling each other onto the ground. And you see them both sort of stab into each other as they both tumble and fall away into where the two skeletons are lying on the ground and disappear beneath the smoke.
Make us turn on each
Oh,
other.
God.
It's not good.
Okay, one person goes in, looks for an exit, and maybe try and find the source of this
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, if Zeke can come with me, since, you know, he can
I don't
probably hold
think
his
you
breath
should
as long
go
as I
in-
can,
I don't think you the more than one person should go in there.
then I should.
I
Like,
don't know.
if
I'm
some
gonna-
if something goes wrong in there, I'm more than strong enough to break my way out of anything grabbing me or take a punch to get out.
Well,
You know?
again, we have a minute. Assuming that they may have breathed this in and then turned on each other, that's all we have to do is just not
Minute?
Wait,
easy peasy.
like this entire moment, like practices his practicing breathing exercises to make sure they can hold on.
Yeah,
Like
hyperventilate, get
emptying
the
your lungs
oxygen in
and-
your
Yeah.
blood.
Emptying
Just
it,
because
filling it,
you
and
can't
again.
see it doesn't mean you're not breathing it in. So just be careful. All right, I'm going now.
So, you two are going first,
No,
and then if
yes,
if
it's
it's
just-
good,
it's just
we
me.
follow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are like 7 foot above the line of the actual smog. Zeek is maybe 2 max. His head, as the lower half of his body just becomes lost.
It's the opposite of fire smoke rules.
Yeah.
As you
We have to be below it.
I will
guys
like.
begin.
I wanna like.
Yeah.
I wanna grab Halite like first by the arm, and I'm like, just. I don't know what to say.
Just do me a favor and don't come in
Just do me
because
a favor.
I don't want to hit you guys.
Don't go in.
Well, what's the plan?
No, I know. Yeah, I know you can go. I just come back, okay?
We'll do, but don't come in.
Okay.
As you say. Like,
I
unless
mean,
it's clear, we can.
If I do it, I'm gonna be talking crazy. So it probably won't be me if I do scream for help.
I'm kind of
you
like,
know.
I'm aware
I'm
that, like,
slowly starting walking into the
yeah, no,
smoke.
Yeah.
oh shit. Okay, like I'm aware that I am 100% gonna go in and he may kill me. So I just wanna, I don't know. I'm touching a chest. I don't know what to do.
Make
Okay,
out. Make out. Do it.
You guys.
Just let you know, I'm running out of breath. You hold
Oh
me
no,
back.
you shouldn't have done that yet. Okay.
Okay, you go back out. You take and you and Zeek walk into the trickster's smog, and Zeek begins holding her breath, seems to look around them, nod at figures that are not there, and just tastes like shit, but I think I'm okay. Hey Zeek, if I start trying to punch you, just knock me the fuck out, okay?
And Halite.
Not Zeke, Halite.
So confused.
Zeke is already
I was
affected.
confused.
Oh my god, he's gonna punch
Are you sure
himself.
this smoke's not affecting you?
He says, honestly, I'm not sure if it's...
The hit on the head.
I've only been an hour without alcohol, but I'm beginning to... And as you're walking in, you see above the corpses once again rising. These ghosts reappear, eyes, pupils still wide. This time they are looking at you as you're moving through.
Moving slowly, but just kind of trudging through. Try not to staying like distant away from them, not trying to provoke them.
If they're okay, no, I'm gonna let them. I keep messaging him. I'm gonna be right back. I can't wait.
Cool. Spooky.
out
It's
my-
too spooky.
It's too spooky.
If I can see him from where I am, can I take out my piton and hold an action that if this one, the Alex one, lunges for either of them, then I throw my piton to try and pull him back, basically. To give
Yeah.
him.
Well, since like you get to about there and something will happen.
Halite doesn't like ghosts. He can't grapple ghosts. He doesn't think.
To set the scene further, it's damp cold in here. There is a little bit of like moss and lichen growing along the side of the walls. The smog just sort of whips around your feet. It does respond to sort of like as you move through it, just moving sort of as a smog would away. But that bitter taste, like it's still in your mouth from before, but you are holding your breath against it, re-entering your throat.
Yeah.
All of you can sort of taste the very edges of this bitterness in the air. But it is silent as you are moving through. What else have we done? It smells damp. It smells damp as well. What other senses?
I can't smell it. I'm not breathing in.
Yes. People on the stairs up there still smell damp.
Sounds
You remember the
dense.
smell of damp from 10 seconds ago.
It just sounds
Sure.
dense. And you know how? It does.
Should we do stealth checks?
Are you trying to be stealthy? You have failed so far.
Thanks,
They are
Sam.
staring directly at you.
You know what? Nah, fuck that. I'm walking tall and proud. I'm not crouching.
Cool.
Hi.
As you get to that point, you see the figure of Gwyneth just moves, like floats, like very slowly over towards where you are, and blocks your way. Looks towards you. Goes, I had a message. Where are you going?
To save the rebellion.
Ilya.
Wait, what did you say, Sam? You cut out.
What is left?
Embers.
Nice.
Only embers. Did we fail?
Halite nods sadly.
Did we fail? And she just begins to grimace, and you watch as she begins to scream as the other ghosts begin to scream alongside her.
Oh, shit.
And she just stares up towards you as these large pupils fully extend across her eyes and black veins move across the ghost-like face. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
I'm good at those. He lied. 10.
10. Zeek is going to have to do one as well. Sorry, Ben. Wisdom saving throw. He's not too bad. And this is, it's kind of against magic. Oh yeah, he's got that easily with a 20. As this horrifying visage of this creature encapsulates you. Did you say 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't fail by 5 or more, which is really good.
Oh no!
But you are frightened as this figure is standing in this archway. I will say you catch one last thing before you become fully focused on this figure that is frightening you. You see behind her this pile of broken rock from which you see the slowly pouring fog is coming out of the wall. I'm going to mark it on the map with an X, but then we are going to go into initiative. As you see all of the ghosts begin to turn towards you and Zeek in this fog and begin advancing.
I have said something to taxes first while they're in there doing that. Just want to say.
Oh my god, Halite is so stupid. Sorry, carry on.
No.
What's new?
What sparked this?
I'd like to have said if we have to go in there, you're the only one that we can we're the only two that can communicate with each other. Okay, so I keep looking. Okay, just look at me and stuff. Okay.
Cool, yeah.
9. Fuck, Halite.
Cool.
Can I do my hold action as well? Because as soon as I see Alex.
Yes, yeah, you can absolutely throw off that hold action. I'm going to say, Diana, if it's okay, that is when your mirror image goes off rather than having it burn through a minute.
I was going to say, I was like, shit, I made a mistake. I don't have that again.
Free.
Oh, bye you.
Sam, no.
Oh no, we look really bad on this.
DM.
Sam. Oh, he's there.
Literally, after you said shit is when like.
Shit.
Oh shit.
Um,
I'm gonna have to roll. Let's see.
Oh my
what
god,
I
me and
can
Seeker are in sync.
Wins,
Yay!
yay!
Yeah.
Just a
Ah.
23 to
They
hit.
will get
That's
a
not a
bonus
yay
of
moment.
that.
You're the only ones in there.
Mm.
Let me roll.
23 to hit as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll in person. That was shit. I also got a 9. I do have like a plus something or something.
So, in this old D&D like one-shot group I used to be in, I used to have a curse where I couldn't roll above a 10 on any of my bosses. Ah, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yay!
This continues.
They're not exactly bosses, but still. Right, as the horrifying visage has gone off, and it's very clear as this figure of Alex draws their sword with their head cocked to the side, and Thunder just begins launching forward with a rapturous claw of their hand. Dewey, you are the first to react as all of this is happening.
My whole
I'm going to put on some battle music. Yeah, let's have the whole held action go off first, but let's get the battle music going.
That's a 23 to hit, and then I'll expend the charge to pull in.
Definitely it's
Pull him back.
cool.
There's 2 highlights, by the way.
For 17.
There's 2
17.
highlights.
They are going to roll an athletics check. They are immune to being grappled, but this is a magic dagger that does something cool, so I'm going to just give them advantage against it.
No, my one technique.
Yeah, they still succeed. As you launch this pinion into them and try and pull, it's not really got a solid mass to pull against. It is in a ghost. As it basically is wrenched free as you try and do that, and very much gets the attention of this human figure as the cocked head turns around, looking towards you.
Great.
Sorry.
You're not there.
I mean, bring them to us rather than us going into the fog.
Well, maybe.
Can you roll damage for that as well?
That would be 5 points damage.
5 points of magical piercing to Alex. Yeah. Okay. Dunstan, Dewey, Fairfoot.
Yeah, all right. I will bow. I think I will, from where I am, I will bow Thundaf. If I got a bead on Thundaf from where I am.
Thundaf, the dwarf, is over here, and yeah, it's just reaching forward with a ghostly hand.
I'm still at the top of the stairs at this point.
Correct.
So that's fine. In that case, I will try some bow action. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's do it. And yes, I will whistle, and just from behind me, just tiny fucking birds just like past me.
Just through the tunnel, like a wind tunnel, just as you summon a cordon of birds to your aid.
Load up the way right, and nice.
You have frozen.
7.
My
17.
He's not frozen for me.
Oh.
17 is going to hit.
Oh, I have frozen.
Yeah.
I'm still
I can
here.
see you.
It's only on
BRB. Hang on.
stream.
Oh.
That didn't fix it. I actually made it worse.
Oh, it might be me.
Yeah, can you turn your camera off and back on again? And also,
I'm not broken.
yeah.
These initiatives, I'm just realizing how
Jackie Juice! All right, you want me to?
skewed.
You want to turn my camera off? Yep.
Yeah, please, and Doran as well. Yeah. Great. Here we go, Phil. Maybe. Oh no. Yes. Kind of. Yes. Occasionally.
Ghost madness.
Oh,
The Trickster's
God,
Fog has
everyone,
got.
this is
Yeah.
insane.
Definitely
Oh
tricks
my
this
God, what
fog.
the hell?
I'm haunted.
But like Sarah and Sam's been fine the whole time.
It's fine.
No.
Ghost madness.
Okay, is Doran back? No. What?
Yeah, this is weird. I can see you on the I can see you on the Discord layout. Fine, but is there any issues on the Discord screen?
No,
For
Discord
anyone
works
else?
fine for me. It's just then the stream is weird.
Mine's
Yeah,
fine.
it's just
Oh,
because...
no. Oh, no, mine is not frozen. I thought it was. I was just looking still.
That's the issue. You got me and Sam who sit really, really still, so you can't fucking
Yeah.
tell.
I'm just going to wiggle the entire time. Hey, guys, we're having some technical issues due to ghosts in the machine.
Okay,
It might be that
Brown.
we just have frozen cameras for the rest
Two
of
of them?
this. If
Okay,
it's just not
let's
going to get
go
fixed.
to a break for like 30 seconds and then I can fix it. She
Give that a
says.
go. We're going to
She
banish some
lies.
ghosts. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. I was looking at the wrong place. I was
Ghosts.
looking over here. My camera's here. Goodbye. Be right back.
All you see in us is barbarian. What we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. But we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred. Tired of assault and bigotry, we'll stand and mock you viciously. Through music we captivate, through songs and words we propagate. We'll mock and smear and slander, infiltration, propaganda. After years there's finally resolution. It's time to start the revolution. I said we're done. The time has come, we will stand together stronger than we've ever done. Like the sun, we will rise at dawn and never stop until we've won. The time has come, we will rise like the sun, I will never run. We will fight till we won. We will bite, we will smite all through the night. We never sleep, never rest. Put the faith to the test, the self-obsessed, self-confessed, self-professed divinity, nobility. Your God is a fraud, so stop. We're done with the violence and the fury and the cruelty. I said we're done. We will win the war, we'll win the fight, the end's inside. All you see in us is barbarian. What we want is to be equalitarian. We will rock, we will never stop. Standing at the top of the hilltop, we will mock. Viciously, capriciously, we're tired of assault and the bigotry. You seem so full of wit and chivalry. But we will not beat your door, you'll break. I said we're done. We have fire in our veins and we will break these chains. I said we're done. We won't be ripped apart, you will be burned and battle scarred.
We're back. I'm watching the stream.
We're back.
Are we back? I think we're
But
back.
are we gonna stay
Are we
moving?
back?
Yeah, just don't make any silly faces.
We look like
'cause I
we're
think
all
we should
there.
Just keep going, regardless.
Never
Cool.
blink your eyes.
Wow, talking of keeping on going, let's keep on going. The party are fighting ghosts of Harling's fallen warriors in a strange smog called the Trickster's Smog in a tunnel that Harling once used to take Heather Hill. But we are currently with Dunstan Dewey Fairfoot as they are looking up and targeting Tundaf, the undead ghost of a dwarf.
From where I was, did I hear what Halite was saying? Did I hear that conversation with the ghost?
He wasn't being
Yes,
quiet.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
In that case, I will draw my bow, but I will be like, wait, we're here to build the rebellion. Can we help you? And I will hold my action to shoot it in the face if it doesn't want help.
Okay, that is your turn. Diana, you are up. There are mirror images of you around as you are trying to desperately recognize these figures.
There's four of me looking very concerned. I would. Okay, so did we hear that there's like a little box thing in there?
Box thing?
No.
No, cool.
There are 3 skeletons.
Yeah, well, like, because we're the frog. Frog?
Frog?
Fog smog. Frog.
Yes.
You
Where the
will.
smog is, it's like, you.
We don't know that.
I don't believe it was pointed out to you.
That's
It was
fine.
just in that moment Halite spotted that
That's
it is
fine.
out of your field of vision.
That's fine. I will use my action to send message to Zeek. What's going on in there? Can we turn the fog off? If that's enough, I don't know.
Zeke will reply, I can see it past the ghost. Don't think it will disperse fast enough.
Okay, that was my action. And then I'll get my rapier out and I will hold my breath and go in.
Okay. You hold your breath, deep
Exactly
breath, you
what
go
fools
in.
not do.
You have 10 rounds, unless you wish to use some of that breath for verbal components. And you enter the smog and throw yourself next to Zeek as these ghosts are all looking towards you with vindictive eyes. Taxes.
Okay, so I'm going to move up a little bit just to be next to Dewey. Just so I get more vision for stuff. Can I do insightful fighting on Alex?
Yeah, they're going to make a deception check. Try to, anyway. It's not bad. But it's not
Probably
amazing.
better than the wyverns were, I imagine.
17.
So I'll just try and find my insight. I should know what my insight is. That's a natural 20, 28.
Good
Natural 20.
grief.
You see this figure that is staring towards you after you have struck it with his pinion. On a natural 20, again, I honor natural 20s. I think it's a good idea to do. As a inquisitive rogue, you gain insight in how to fight this thing best. It is a ghost. It's not going to try and defend itself. You just have to hit it and hit it hard. Some of the rules of normal combat are off the table, so you know how to get stealth attack on this thing without any of the normal clauses. On a natural 20, you see that Alex is holding themselves like a bodyguard. You don't think that while the other two ghosts are in danger, Alex is going to back down.
While the other two.
You think Alex is going to keep fighting until those two ghosts are gone.
Okay, cool.
One way or another.
Okay, and then I would like to again hold my action to throw a piton if it goes forward. Try not to go into the smog. Trying to keep it as far away from everyone else who's going into that area.
Okay.
So I'll throw it, just trying to keep it distracted onto me, basically.
Cool. It is currently just about in your short range. Do you wish to get any closer to it?
I'll go if I can go to here and not be in that area. That's fine, yeah.
That's fine.
But I'm not going to attack
right.
it until it attacks.
Yeah, you're holding your action ready for it to make a move first. You see Zeke breathing in the smog, just looking around and go, oh, are we not? I mean, are we okay? He's looks around and goes, if we're not, what do you want? And they are going to try and figure this shit out. I'm going to make an intelligence check for Zeke. It's not great, it's not bad. They go to, they go over towards the skeleton, where Gwyneth emerged from. And they're going to make an investigation check to see if they can find what this message they referred to. Not great at investigation. Nope. They are pouring through his bones. No, it's about 50 years, so it's more like a mummified state at this point. So they're just beginning to try and pour through the body to try and find something. It's like, I don't know what the message is, as they are beginning to just look through. That is their action. As a bonus action, they are going to say, Our ghosts just... I want my own ghosts! And you see as a chain begins forming between them and Fundaf, but does not act yet. They have summoned the chain, but they have not told it to act yet. As it is Halite's turn.
Halite being scared, he cannot move closer.
Correct, you are scared.
So he's going to use his bonus action to get mad that he's telling his body to move forward, but he can't physically. So he's going to get pissed that his body's not doing what he wants him to do. And he's going to hold his action to dart past the ghost in front of him, Gwyneth, as soon as he has the opportunity to.
You cannot willingly get close.
Exactly. So as soon as he has the opportunity to go past
Okay, you're holding your action, so as soon as you can
go past her,
you're going to go past Gwyneth. Okay, cool. But you're just sort of staring, fixed in place, like,
come
I have
on!
a mission, but I can't.
Come on!
Terrified of this thing, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's not like a tactical, I'm just waiting until I can. It's more like I need to do that, but I just physically can't move closer to her right now.
Like he's punching his fist into his legs. He's like, "Come on!"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, might never matter, and it's not working currently.
As lightning starts to build up with his arms and legs.
You see as Tundaf looks towards you, hands out, and just, they needed to come. Did they come? Did they come to help us? And it just begins moving violently towards the nearest person towards them, which is Diana at the moment, and is just going to go there. Somebody held their action for, I think 2 people held their action for... No, just Dewey held their action for Tundaf, yes. So make the attack.
Well, it's 15. 15
definitely hits. As you draw back the way right and release an arrow into this thing.
Okay, right. I'm not going to do any marking of targets or anything like that. It will be just the D8. I'm going to do something different with my burbs. I don't know whether it'll work, but so that is that is 10. That's 10 points of piercing damage. The weapon, the bow, is magic. Does that make the arrow?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And what I would do is use my gathered swarm to. The idea would be it would a strength saving throw or be moved. I don't know if that would work with a ghosty boy.
I'm going to give him advantage on it because your birds are magical as well.
Okay.
Your birds are magical, and also they're high off their asses.
Hey, magic.
Yes. They all start killing each other. Cool. So it's the strength saving throw?
It will be a strength saving throw against DC 14.
They succeed.
Boo!
As the birds semi-collide with them, but moving this figure is difficult as they are near ethereal. As they close that distance with Diana, they are going to swipe out with a withering touch towards you, Diana. They are going to, first of all, try and hit one of you, if one of the 4 of you, with a 17 to hit. I believe that hits Diana's armor class.
It does.
But does it hit the real Diana? Is the question.
Hit the real Diana? Yeah. I did put it in the chat, so I just roll above 6.
Yeah, start with you must roll a 6 or higher, and it fails. No.
It was a 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything bad happens, Sam. It just says it's below a 6.
I just imagine that Diana.
No. There's nothing extra bad. You just.
I just lose 1.
You just have the 4 of you amongst you, and you watch as it just goes for a random swipe and catches the reveal you by awful luck on your part. As you feel this touch rip through you, you take 16 points of necrotic damage. As you don't feel like a bludgeoning force, you just feel it push through your body, and you just feel just a little bit of the light inside just get pulled away. 16 points of necrotic damage. That is their turn, however.
The torch on Halite's chest kind of flickers a little bit.
It does.
As we come to Alex, who is going to see that there are two individuals on the steps that are not currently being destroyed, and that is what they are going. And they turn, cocked head to the side, just drawing the the long sword alongside them as they float through the stairs and up towards you. They're going to go for taxes first. I believe you had a held action. Yeah, that goes off now.
And that will be 26 points of damage in total.
Oof. 26 points of damage. As this traversal pit just jams through this thing, connecting heavily with its ethereal form. And it just continues to advance towards you. Can you make me a charisma saving throw, please?
Boy. Oh boy.
It does not stop as it continues to advance towards you. And you, Dewey, watch as the ghost enters the body of Taxes, whose eyes go wide and have that same wide pupil, and is looking towards you.
Come on.
Oh.
What?
The ghost now controls the body, as Alex possesses Taxes.
Oh, damn.
Fuck.
Fuck,
Gone
Alex.
as well. The
But
ghost is gone.
But that is their turn.
I didn't enter
As
this
Alex
pod.
is now possessing you. Gwyneth is going to see if they get their horror. Oh no, they can just keep doing the horrifying visage. But they've just done it now, so they are going to advance towards the figure they know is afraid of them, and is going to attack towards you.
Halite's reaction goes off.
Yes.
He's gonna 5, 10, 15.
Fair enough.
My reaction is to dash past them. So would I know?
I would say that you are like, as their like hand is reaching towards you, you just like try and move yourself away. You have this like, I need to get to there, but you're just terrified of this thing as it's like coming towards you, and it sort of follows you in this arc around with this long reaching hand. As it tries to strike you.
Good luck.
I don't think frightened gives it any kind of advantage.
No, it's only disadvantage on everything I do while I can see you.
So that will definitely miss. That's an 8. As you are like do-si-doing it around, using your prepared reaction to just sort of do-si-do around it as it's like very slowly reaching forward with this hand that does not connect. Dowie, it is your turn as you see Taxes wide-eyed next to you.
Oh boy. How tall is the chamber that the others are in? Like
say
ceiling?
That's my question.
18, 20 foot tall.
Cool.
Probably not that high. I would say 15, 18 foot tall. 18 foot tall. Let's call it 18.
And it looks like Taxes is advancing on me menacingly with creepy horror film eyes.
Not advancing so much as still has a traversal pitten that's pulled back into her hand and is just looking towards you with these blank expression and wide eyes.
Great stuff.
Eyes.
Okay. In that case, I will go 5, 10, and then I will disengage from the combat that I think I'm in. I'm also first I will hold my breath. And 5,
important.
10, disengage, 15. Does even though I'm disengaging, does Taxes take a swing for me? As I
Yeah, you watch as the traversal pit, and as you see they ready it, and as they realise that you are like essentially throwing birds in their face to disengage, you
Absolutely what I'm doing.
they cannot make the attack, but you see you see what as their head begins to tilt to the side, much like Alex's was, and rather than holding the sword to their side, they're now holding this dagger.
Yeah, okay, right. What was that? 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. Okay, so. When I got to level 7, I got a new thing that I can do with my burb friends. I will leave it up to you. That is terrifying.
That is accurate.
I will leave it up to you as to whether this is something that requires breath or not. Writhing Tide, as a bonus action, you gain a flying speed of 10 foot and can hover. This effect lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated. Yeah, so I would like to essentially, like, as I'm going down the stairs, like, a bird perches on my shoulder, and another one, and another one, and then they start, and I put my arms out, and another bird on the arm, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another, and they all start flapping, and I take really awkwardly take off.
Wow.
And go fire, and
Two things. One,
wow.
because this is cool, you're going to take inspiration for this. Because also, two, as we have established, to command the birds, you whistle. And I'm going to say it takes 30 seconds of your air to whistle and command these birds.
Oh no!
But yes, I will do that, and I don't know how to delete text off this, but like 10 foot in the air.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
You're 10 foot. I can see that. How much that will matter to these ghosts?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it's a thing that I said I do, so I'm doing it.
Cool. Right. Diana.
I have a question before we continue.
Okay.
So, Halite is scared. Does that affect him breathing whatsoever?
No.
And he spoke to talk to the ghost. How much breath does he have left? So I can have an accurate writing downs of it.
I take like a question asked, like the same as a 6-second verbal component, essentially. So a minute has come off of your time.
Okay, so he has 3 minutes left. Thank you.
Cool. Diana, with taxes on deck. Sounds excited.
Yeah, this is great. I have one cantrip that I can do. Otherwise, all the rest are purple components. But I don't have them anyway, because we didn't long rest. It doesn't matter anyway. I can... I'm gonna disengage. And because I don't know where the thing is. Can I get Halite's attention? Does
Halite is looking in your direction. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. I wouldn't fucking know whether to even ask him or not. Can I look around? Can I look around? I want to know if basically I want to know if I can spot this thing, but I'm trying not to.
From where you are, Halite's sort of blocking it, but you can see the effect of the smog like pouring out of there.
Okay.
It's a slow pour. It's not like it's jettisoning out at a high speed.
What I want is to like.
You think if you block it plus time, like maybe an hour, that this fog would dissipate. It's not going to be like you block it and it's gone for this fight. It's going to be you block it and you can use this tunnel again in future.
Okay, cool. Do I get that in that all the whole 60
Yeah,
feet?
you look around. It's easy to look around and see. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's fair.
Then I won't disengage. I'll just try and attack, I guess.
Yeah,
I
go
don't
for
want
it.
to go anywhere else. So, okay. So the only cantrip I can do is booming blade. So I will do that as well
Nice.
as hitting stuff, and hope that they. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then I will hit with my rapier. That is not a 20, it's a 19. Boo. Yeah, 24. The rapier.
24 definitely hits.
A hit. And then, oh great, that was a 1. So that's a 3. Fuck you, dice. Yeah. Another 1.
A rapier is not magical, I believe.
No, it's
But the
not.
booming blade damage is.
Booming blade is. So on a hit, target suffers the weapon's normal attack and then becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of your next turn. If the target willingly moves 5 feet or more before then, the target takes 2d8
Cool.
thunder damage. So yeah.
Nice.
They don't have to actually disengage, they just have to move 5 feet.
Yes. Yeah. Any movement away from you will trigger.
Cool. Nice. Yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
Okay.
Blade.
Taxes.
Oh no, taxes.
I really
Can
hate
You
skipping
can-
fast.
Yeah, no,
Taxes.
so can Halite see me? So Halite can see me, yes? And Halite can,
Yes.
yeah. If he's looking, then I would like to, I don't know how this would work. I want to give inspiration, but I can't speak.
Yes. I will also say,
As I can
Halite, you can make a
sign.
wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn. I should have said
Oh.
that, sorry. To see if you break through the frightened condition. My bad. You do not. You are still frightened.
12.
You're still frightened.
Inspiration between two of the hottest units in the country. I mean, surely you must be like,
Non-verbal, yeah. Non-verbal inspiration is sent your way.
Yeah.
Even though Halite's terrified out of his mind, he catches it.
Yeah.
Aw, babe. Your camera is
As
supposed
focus
to
goes
be
to Diana, even
I'm
though
sure.
the focus is strictly trying to pay attention
Dude,
to the wide eye.
she's got mirror image. I got focuses in for 1.
oh,
Inspiration.
You got 3 inspiration. Yeah. Now your camera's back. I can see you. Oh, which one's real? I know. Yeah. It don't matter. I guess.
He catches them all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that. Sorry. Yes. That was. I'm glad that could happen.
Like
Now
I said,
taxes can kill everyone.
yeah, I really hate that it's become a running theme with my characters that I get possessed.
I'm trying to determine whether it's on the ghost's initiative or yours, but I'm going to say it's yours.
It was way more fun.
Because I want you, Sarah, to tell me what Alex is going to do, and effectively they are like, oh, I need to kill these intruders.
So go for the nearest target, which would be Dewey.
They are affecting the mission. They have to be dealt with. That is the presence of mind that you have overwhelming in your head.
Go for Dewey then. Because it's the furthest away from getting hit by everything else.
Yeah. As Dewey, you born aloft, have a piton thrown.
like a bird, wanna fly away.
I mean, I can roll for Piton and I will use my action to. Because it doesn't hit anyway.
Yeah.
That's a 10. Just past your back, the piton goes flying through the air. Do you? I would assume you use a charge so that you can pull it back to you. Otherwise, it's just gone spiraling out of the way. Although Alex might not know.
Would Alex
Would
know?
you?
That's why.
Alex probably wouldn't. Well, Alex saw you do it, but they don't know how the magic works exactly. So I will say the piton ends up on the other side of the room, jammed into the wall a little bit.
So then can I run forward, jump off, and do a bonus action dagger onto Dewey?
Yes, you can. They are 10 foot in the air, but a
bonus
running
action
jump.
What?
Rogues can
Other
rogue,
hand comes up.
regardless of who's
Other hand, like,
controlling the rogue.
Still head cocked to the side as the other hand comes up and just jams
I know.
towards you.
I know you're evil, but that was pretty cool.
That was fucking cool.
That's
I love
-3. That's a 16 to hit.
16. 16 to hit you, Dewey.
-3.
Yeah, because it won't be
Because
efficient.
it doesn't include her dex bonus,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, right, okay.
Or
Efficiency,
proficiency, one of them.
In that case, yeah, my AC is 14.
Cool, so
Yes,
7
that does
points
hit.
of damage then.
7 points of damage. As you leap up, dig, catch him in the calf as you land on your way down.
It's almost as if I'd done player versus player on before. I don't know.
Zeek is watching all of this. Anything else on your turn? Sorry, I should have.
That's it. Bonus action
No.
done.
Cool. Zeek is watching. Is going to lash out with the tentacle to try and hit Tundaf. That is going to be enough to hit, but if I am correct, and I am correct, you watch as this whip like slams into it, and you see this frosty damage completely ignored by this ghost. So he goes sort of, oh, you know, I can. Cold damage is a no, and they begin looking for other options that they can do.
Cold damage is a no.
No.
And they, like, I don't know if we have time to lay him to rest in any other way, and it's just going to start launching eldritch blasts towards Tundaf. With the first one being a 17 definitely hits, and the second one is going to be definitely going to hit. So that's 2d10. We did not pick up any adaptations to the Eldritch Blast, so that's just a straight 2d10. Oof. That's 4 points of damage to Tundaf as just these two fists come out and just slam, but don't do that much. And they're like, they look towards Diana, being the one engaged, and say, do you want me to join you? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Should I be another option for it?
Wait, what
Or
did
can
he
I rather
say?
get hit than you?
What did he say? Sorry.
Essentially, do you want Zeek to engage in melee with this thing? Having had the conversation that you had earlier. To be another option for Tundaf to go and hit.
I will point at Halite.
Okay, Zeek nods and just runs over towards Gwyneth.
Advantage
says-
round. Yeah.
And says, come on, I can take another ghost. And is going to have finishing a move, bonus action, and action. Halite, it's your turn.
Halite does not need to do reckless anymore.
No.
Bonus action. He's gonna get bigger.
Ooh. Doctor, as you occupy this space, you are a raging big boy.
Raging, angry, big man.
And no longer you are still afraid of a ghost.
I am. But
you are now bigger than it.
Now bigger than it.
Quite a lot, because it is a halfling.
I should be less scared, but my body still won't move as what I wanted to. So I'm just gonna swing.
Yeah, elephant and mouse situation. 15.
15
hits.
Okay, so 9. So rage damage is weapon damage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
if your weapon is not magical, the rage damage would not be magical either.
No. Giant Smite, what are you?
Technically it's because of how big you are, but then
yeah, so it would also be
Yeah, if it doesn't say it's magical damage on there, it's difficult.
But my radiant damage...
Your radiant damage is definitely magical. +3 with that. +3 on the one-handed. I'm assuming you're doing one-handed.
Yep.
And the
I'm
giant
always
smite,
doing it
12, 16 points of non-magical, reduced to 8, plus
Yep. +4.
4 radiant makes 12 points of total damage through to this thing with the first hit.
That's it.
Cool. Tundaf is going to look at the options. Is going to drift over here, not knowing what the spell is, and set off a booming blade. So Bree can roll that. But as the booming blade goes off, there's like a as they roil back from the magic. They are going to look up towards Diana. And they're going to make a check. Diana, your booming blade goes off.
Yay!
As Tundaf moves. You watch as they turn around to look at you in malice, and a split moment of recognition on their face, like confused recognition.
Lol.
They are going to what did he do? No, he's just going to try and hit you. Confusion and deep confusion and rage in their mind.
You gonna roll?
Yeah, roll your damage, as they are going to try and roll and hit you with a withering touch.
For podcast listeners, I rolled a 0 on my wisdom save.
Oh my god!
So
Halite!
I'm still
They did.
still afraid.
Still very, very afraid.
No. 7 lightning.
Cool. Is a 14 going to hit you?
It is not.
Cool.
No. So technically, I have to roll first, and then
Before.
dex is
I
less.
see.
Yeah, so
I
their
see.
dex is
To
less
see
than
if
mine. I could have just said like, no, but that's not. Yeah. No. Yes. You hit another one.
Okay. So the first one didn't. The first one hit you, so it didn't hit illusory duplicate. So you still have 2.
Well, it would have hit that one anyway. Oh.
Right, I see.
Oh no.
Each time a creature targets you, roll a d20 to determine whether it targets one of your duplicates. So technically,
I should
this
have
one would have missed.
Yeah, so technically I shouldn't have lost any hit points, right? Because
last time, no, it hit you. So
okay,
yeah, it hit you because you rolled a 1 to see if it hit you.
Yeah. So
but this time it hits a duplicate instead, but it still goes through the duplicate. So you're down 1 duplicate.
Okay.
But it did not hit you, and that is their turn. Alex is possessing taxes.
It's a quick question.
Gwyneth is going to look to the 2 figures around it. They look towards the half gnome and half dwarf and just get. Did we deliver the message? What happened? And they're going to try and attack Zeek with a withering touch. That is going to be 18, so definitely hits Mr. Zeek Boondiggles for a total of 9 points of necrotic damage to Zeek.
Yeah, I'm gonna display
as they coil back. Right, Dewey, it is your turn.
Can I ask a quick
Okay.
question that might help Dewey?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
Does Alex make me breathe in this fog?
Yes, but currently it's not affecting you.
Oh shit, dude.
Goddamn ghost lungs. Right, okay. In that case, like, being 10 foot in the air doesn't appear to have done me any good.
To be even higher then. That's what Halite thinks. If you have a problem, just get bigger.
But
Still have a problem? Get even
I'm
bigger.
further up, but there's still within reach because I just got stuck by my friend.
Ow. That hurt here and here.
Right. Here's another thing which I still can't remember what we had decided about racial abilities, because one of my racial abilities as a dual elf
Not a spell.
is
Not a spell.
not a spell. But
It's a racial ability that uses a spell effect, not actually casting a spell.
right. Now, obviously, we don't have it written in whether there be a verbal component to me disappearing in a cloud of dew.
I'm going to say, for the sake of this, no. You're fine.
In that
No.
case, I will use my once per day ability to use the spell Misty Step.
Is it once per day? You can't do it. We've done the Wyvern attack.
I
say,
did the
could
Wyvern
you use
attack,
it?
so I will not do that. Probably should have looked at
Yep.
my stats. In that case, I will disengage from.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh dear. I'll have to disengage from.
You sure?
Alax to taxes. My flying is not helping me, so I will just have to. Birds let me go. Sorry. that is me disengaging. They just let go, and I just go up.
Yeah, you plummet to the ground, land in a combat roll, bow drawn, amongst the smog around you, holding your breath.
Yarp. And I will get to here, and I won't. No, I need range. So yes, I will go to there, and I will. Yeah, and I will shoot. I will shoot. Thundaf.
Do it.
No, Dewey.
Oh god. No.
Lol. Oh god.
Second
It's
time!
out again. He's gone. Fuck this shit.
Film as if you want me to kill you.
It's 20 past 11.
21.
21 definitely hits.
Yes. I will not whistle. I will. Yeah, because that uses breath. So I
Yes.
will have to do that, which is good because I rolled the full 8. So that is 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. You see this arrow rip through Tundaf's form, and you watch the dwarf just seems to turn into mist for a second before just about reforming themselves enough to look towards you. They look like they are very close to not being able to hold this form anymore.
In that case, I should remember this time that I have 2 attacks per attack action, and use that second attack.
Go for it.
You gave me a couple of 20s earlier on, so let's try you again. 17 is not a 20, but it's still good. So that is
will do.
lots. And that is 8 total.
8 total is going to disapparate Tundaf as the arrow just. This dwarven face looking down at Diana with a dying moment of recognition as they are gone.
Feel bad.
That was a cousin of yours.
Definitely not a
Probably,
cousin.
yeah.
Full dwarf.
That's everything. And that is, I think, everything that they can do. Really, yeah, everything else I do involves breathing. So no.
Everything else I do is such a quote. I love it. Diana, it is your turn.
Yeah. Cool. So I read the thing again. I posted it. So technically, I should have only one duplicate left, and they can't hit. Like I can't be hit until.
So if you have 3 duplicates, which was the first attack, you roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. So you roll a 1, so it hit you. And then on the second attack, you rolled high enough that it hit a duplicate
Oh,
instead.
no, I didn't.
So you have.
I didn't, but yeah.
Is that right?
I rolled low. I rolled like lower than. Pretty sure it was lower than an 8. Yeah.
On the second one?
Yeah, I think so. Like it was shit. I rolled 2 shit attacks.
The AC of a duplicate is 10 plus your dex modifier. If it hits a duplicate, it destroys it. So, I believe...
okay.
I'm fairly confident you have 2 duplicates left.
Yeah. Okay.
Because one hit you and one hit a duplicate instead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
That is ruling done. We're done.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That.
And this is the second round that I've been in here.
That you've been in the smog, I think so, yes.
Oh God.
What?
Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
No,
Smog's
what?
coming.
Nope. Carry on.
I can't see your face. What?
Nope. Carry on.
God damn it. What? No.
Nothing to do with nothing to do with my face. Carry on.
I don't. That's not what I. Okay. That's not what I said. Okay.
What we're doing?
Yeah. It's the only thing I can do. I can't do anything else. 20. Boop. Hello,
Cool.
Halite.
You run up and fill this place right next to Halite.
And then.
Who is still terrified at this
I didn't
thing.
say that. I will hit this one.
Wait, Halite does say, "Hey, babe." How much breath does it take?
Fuck's sake.
I'll say that's a 30-second bonus action. Hey, babe.
So that's half of what he's got now. So that's
Yeah, half a round.
minute.
I would have
Half a minute. Sorry. So 5 rounds.
So 5 rounds. Okay.
Wow.
Listen, Halite,
You
you're a
had-
simple creature.
But you had 36 to start with, so
Yeah, he had
We're getting
18.
I mean, it's so dumb, but
18,
it's super
sorry, I think it
cute.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Guess
right.
what?
Rafe.
Action.
Yeah.
You're attacking. Gwyneth.
Oh. Natural 20! That makes sense.
Hey!
Oh, they are shite. Right. 2 dice? No, double the dice. 1 dice and double it.
Dice.
Woo! 12. Plus 2.
12.
12 plus 2 is 14. You strike hard at this ghostly form. You pierce the heart and you twist the blade. It's a critical blow on anything that is living. You see even in its ghostly form, this creature just is feeling some kind of misery at what you've just done.
I don't want to do that. Am I able to do the boom? No, that was an. No, technically I can't do the booming blade. So.
You already made the
Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, that's it.
Cool.
That's it.
Taxes.
What if Alex seen Diana hit the ghost?
You can see, roughly from this angle here, you can see that they are attacking Gwyneth, and in your mind you're thinking they're attacking the message carrier.
Yeah.
You need to kill these people before they're clearly agents of this empire. You need to destroy them.
Literally run over and attack Diana.
Yeah.
Cool. You do not have sneak. Oh, no, Gwyneth is there, but she's not on her. I think sneak attack works with Gwyneth there.
Yes, she would count as an ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get sneak attack on it. Fuck.
Yes, as you cling low through the fog and then just emerge with... Actually, probably from this distance, you could probably pick up your pit along the way. But on an 11, I don't think it's going to hit.
Is that advantage?
No advantage currently.
Advantage for sneak attack.
Because,
Did you say I was picking up the pittern?
Yeah, I would say that it's sort of... From the angle you threw, it's basically on the floor next to you.
Okay.
but you would not know to be stealthy. You're Alex.
Then
So
I'll do-
you pick it up and jam forward, but Diana, you see her coming. You see the wise-eyed eyes, wide pupils that are staring towards you, and you just shift out of the way. Actually, no. I apologize again. Actually, yeah, you should roll a duplicate check to see if it hits a duplicate instead.
That is a 10. That is
10.
over an 8.
So it definitely hits a duplicate. What is your dex modifier?
As Halite is being dumb,
It's 12.
2.
As
So
Halite
even
being-
on an 11, it doesn't hit the duplicate because the duplicate's AC is 10 plus your dex mod. So you miss even the duplicate
Yeah,
as you're going for.
Is
I
that
should have
true?
put Alex misses it. You don't miss.
I don't miss.
I don't
Taxes
miss-
never
I
misses.
don't miss shit.
And then bonus
Um,
action for the piton, then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at -3. That's a 22. And I'll be the sneak attack on top of it as well, because you get sneak attack once per turn.
Yes, this one definitely hits. But does it? Can you please roll your?
It's a
Halite uses a reaction, and Gwyneth jumps in front and takes the sneak attack damage
Shit,
and
yeah.
turns into clouds, and then goes
Yeah.
back to Gwyneth itself.
Using your cloud rune, Gwyneth
Like his
and
chest,
China.
his like circular plate that's holding all his straps together glows for a second, of showing the rune, and then all of that happens.
Yeah, as from the smog surrounding you, just this changing of places, trickery in the trickster smog. As instead,
That's the title.
Alex, you strike at Gwyneth before you realize what you're doing. Definitely hits.
22 points.
22
And it's
points
the magical
of
weapon.
magical
It's the
piercing.
magical weapon.
That's enough.
You just
as-
killed the weapon. You just killed the message carrier, Alex.
As Alex just like as you watch taxes begin roaring and out of their mouth, emerging as a bonus action, Alex is going to give up the possession as they look begin cradling the form of the dissipating Gwyneth and will take their place. That is your turn, Texas. Zeek is gonna go. Do I just punch? I'm just gonna like just punch this ghost as hard as he can. I don't know if his punches are magical yet. I don't think so. First one is a 23, so it's definitely gonna hit. Ooh, minimum dice are free, so I think it's -1. And the second punch is going to be only a 10, so that will miss. They are going to probably use a key point because that seems like a good idea. Actions, bonus actions, flurry of blows. So we could just take an unarmed strike for free, or we could take 2. I'm going to think they're going to take 2. They're going to burn a key point. They're going to use 2 further attacks to try and get this thing to go to sleep. That is going to hit on the first one. The second one is going to miss, so only a further d6 plus 2 of non-magical damage, so another 2 points. Damn it. This thing's still up as Zeek is just trying to and blows are partially going through this thing as it is just eyes wide, mouth open jawed, as you see this long sword in one hand just begins to look up towards you who have foiled the mission. As Halite, is your turn.
Am I still frightened?
You're no longer frightened. The object of your fear has been destroyed.
Halite smirks as he goes into attack. Yeah, no bonus actions. Yeah, he's going into attack. Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
Because
Yes.
Zeek is flanking.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's flanking at this point.
With a ghost
1-handed.
shoeing.
Yeah, that's even on the one hand. It's it's not magical.
Yeah.
And then you roll that plus that plus that plus 3 radiant damage. Yeah, yes. As you raise the radiant axe, just doof, as the mist-like form of Alex dissipates, and there are no longer any ghosts in the room. We are out of initiative.
How long do we have?
Technically out of initiative, as you guys who are holding your breath realize you just need to go back to air fairly soon.
What am I doing?
Taxes, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
What am I doing?
Just honestly, what am I doing? Like, I suddenly appeared in this fucking room.
You were at the top of the stairs, and now you are here. You have this very vague, like blackout drunk memory of being there. You begin to see the figures around you, your friends, begin to wobble slightly in your vision. You still are yourself. You can still see your friends. You failed the first saving throw, but you can begin to see them begin to change in how they look and appear to you.
Alright.
You're not quite confused yet. You are still yourself. Are you guys going to the clear air? Cool.
Halite is going to where this thing is coming from, and while he's still big, he's going to take a javelin and like kind of shove it into the hole and try and make it collapse further in.
Cool. Make a strength check. Actually, make this athletics, because you have to be a little bit more precise about this than just strength.
That is 16.
16. You collapse some rocks. It's difficult to see with the fog still here, but you think you have plugged the hole for now.
And he's just going to keep shoving more of the loose rocks at the beginning, just kind of pack it in a bit more.
I'd hope my
cool.
Would he be over by the wall now? Would we be able to see more of what's on the other side, or whether it's all wall down there?
It's pretty much like packed earth and rubble behind there. You haven't quite got the full story of what happened here, but you're beginning to piece things together.
Oh, where on the image of the map you've done a T shape? So
I see.
Does that mean that the wall completely crosses?
You're beginning to see down there that it sort of snakes down and around.
No, the T shape is where the hole in the wall is, where the gas is coming.
Yeah, that T is a very poorly drawn cross, which is where the gas was coming through there.
Cool. I'd like to go back up to the air, but I'm gonna drag Taxes with me. I'm gonna just grab her by like the upper arm and like take her with me.
Yeah, Zeek will do the same. Taxes, by the time you get up there, I just need you to make one more wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna end up fucking
You could do this, Taxes, and then that's up to you if you would like to have.
I can't fucking do it. It's a natural one.
That's a natural one. You feel arms gripped to your sides as your head begins to swim. When you look up, Empire soldiers are gripping your arms and dragging you somewhere.
Cool. I panic.
Yeah. I would like you to roll a d10 for me, please.
It's fine, we're back there. It's fine.
That's a 9.
A 9. I think that's good. Let me check.
I like it when you say, I think that's good.
You can see them, but then you're like, just push your mind, and you can see like wobbles of, that's not quite real, that's not quite real. For this turn, you can act and move normally.
Okay, cool.
Now that you are out of the smog, I'll say at this point, you sort of, the three of you have moved out of the smog up here. Make me another wisdom saving throw.
Can I give inspiration?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Snap out of it!
Yeah. That's your inspiration. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 9, so it's not great inspiration, okay?
9.
Well,
no, roll me another d10.
Not my problem. It is now.
You can see.
That's a 1.
Yours just Tax's eyes are still wide. Okay. This is fun.
I'm panicking. I'm honestly just
Oh, this
panicking
is
in this
fun.
situation.
Roll me a D8, please.
Roll initiative.
Which one of us were you gonna hit? That's fine.
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because clock face. You use all of your movement to run down the stairs and back into the smoke.
Wow.
Unless, I think Zeke is going to try and grapple you as you do this.
I want to grab her as well. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you
Dog
doing?
Make an athletics check to dodge them, to
Walker.
dodge past them.
Wow.
I'm on the stairs, not on the stairs, I'm in the smoke, and now there's fucking Empire soldiers.
The Empire soldiers, you're running away from them. For those who might have figured it out already, you're under the effect of a confusion spell, essentially, until you can break your way out of it.
I'm hating this as a running theme with my characters to date.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But also, I'm kind of happy that this
This is
happened
so
to
good.
someone at least.
This is very good.
Yeah, make an athletics check to see, or an acrobatics check to see if you can not be grappled. Yeah,
mean,
Zeke definitely doesn't get you.
What do
Does
you?
what?
Can I roll
Okay.
as well? Because I.
Yes.
What am I rolling?
An athletics check if you're trying to grapple her before she can get away.
Oh dear. Oh, that rolled off a 19. God damn it. That's a 10. Damn it.
10. Nope. Texas, you're home free, running away. At this point, Halite, you're approaching, but you can make another wisdom saving throw from me, please, Texas.
Honestly.
Before we're looking for a DC of
Natural
15.
20.
Natural
Ah,
20.
yeah.
There we go. As you get away,
Yeah.
and like you're getting there, you see Halite in front of you, and like Empire soldiers aren't that big, and your brain just stops for dissonance for a second, enough that you just back into the fresh air, take a breath, look around. You're back to yourself. You are fully back to yourself.
I hate to say it.
Tax.
You come back to yourself as Halite is jumping on you.
Literally, as you're like, oh, I'm all good now.
Oh, good.
Halite rugby tackles you back onto the staircase.
Halite.
That
Um,
boy.
Move
24.
you out of the way. Just get out of the way.
And as sense returns to all members of the party, as much as it ever could with this party,
Yeah, thank you.
that is where we are going to end today's session and pick up next time because it is nearly midnight. And oh boy, have I got work tomorrow. I think many of us do. With that said, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Probably not going to have combat again for a while, so that was fun. I liked that. You can see now why I was like saying, have a quick look
Yeah.
and see what requires a verbal component. Because
Yeah.
I wanted, like, I hate having just, you're on a battlefield fight. There has to be something to make it interesting.
I mean,
Very good.
going, haha, laughing in Rogue. I don't have spells.
Yeah.
Laughing in Rogue, yeah. And then how did that work out for you? Fucking laughing.
Possessed.
By the way,
Laughing in. I don't have much, wisdom, whatever. Yeah. Anyway.
the reason I went, oh shit, by the way, Bree, is because if one of those ghosts possessed Halite, that would have been a big problem.
I was thinking about it.
Literally.
Yeah.
I was
Because-
so tempted.
Because, like, his has not an activation ability. Every time he hits someone, he just does damage. With, like, his
Yeah.
giant's might
Yeah.
and holiness.
Chong.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. There was definitely, like, Alex was definitely the I'm going to possess people one. Tundar was definitely the, like, I'm just going to hit people one. And then Gwyneth was like, I'm going to frighten people one.
Yeah.
Was how I was playing it. What else was I going to say?
That was
Oh, yeah, the gas originally, and I still think I'm going to call it this if we put it into our world building as a sort of natural hazard. Obviously, Trickster Smog is one name for it. But I think I'm going to call it something close to Oini's Breath or something like that. Oini being the divergent god of deceit. Having this be one of the sort of remnants of a war, like a natural hazard that was made by one of these gods, almost as a weapon. It's still deep within the earth. There's plenty of pockets of this all over the place. But yeah, I will let you guys sort of figure out exactly what happened to this whole party
Diana
next time.
is crying again.
And we shouldn't have talked to them more, but we physically couldn't talk. So.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping for
It's
a little bit more,
difficult.
but it got
Yeah.
a little bit
Like,
tense. So
I made a roll for Zeek to see if he could find something on
Mm.
Gwyneth's body that would give him a clue, but I rolled really shitty.
yeah.
So it just didn't happen. But dice tell the story sometimes.
I tried
All
to
the
choose my
time,
words
pretty
as
much,
carefully as
really.
how I
We
could.
might be able to.
Yeah.
We might be able to have a better look next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, exactly. If the smog is beginning to dissipate now. It's going to take a full hour before it's safe to go down there.
Yes,
Yeah.
short rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I have a.
But we'll pick this up next
Cool.
time. Are we raiding tonight?
Yeah, why not?
I think Kaz the DM might
Kaz
be
yeah.
doing some streamy stream.
Is he? Homebrew Cafe is also streaming.
Ooh, okay. There's a few.
There's a few.
There's a few.
There's options. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you. And
just saying.
apologize for all the technical issues. There's still technical issues. I don't know why.
Fucking ghost in
Doran
the
and
machine.
Phil are just constantly frozen in
Randomly
weird
freezing.
positions.
I'm frozen now. It looks like. Yeah.
You are
Frozen in fear.
constantly frozen. So, oops.
Which is ridiculous because I've got the central heating on in the house and I'm wearing a leather jacket indoors, so I am definitely not freezing.
I have cold resistance.
Oh, there you go. What is going on?
Cool.
And anyway, yes,
I don't know.
we're gonna raid Kaz, who's doing some drawing a tiefling. Fucking love tieflings. Love it. Sorry.
I mean, yeah.
We know.
I know.
That's why I made Zebby hot tiefling bandman.
Tiefling band.
Well, I already had a hot non-tiefling, so. Anyway,
We've had one hot tiefling, yes, but what about the second hot tiefling?
What about who's the second hot tiefling? Wait, how many hot tieflings?
Still
How
one
many
that
hot
Kaz is
tieflings?
The
drawing.
one that Kaz
Slap it top. Slap it top of Rapid Riders. I can fit so many hot tieflings in this bad boy.
Please. No, because then poor Halite will get his lap broken. No, you've already put a hot elf in there. Stop it. There's only so much I can take.
So many hot people.
So many hot.
Hot people. Central.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're gonna raid Kaz. The things that are coming up this week is it is Wednesday today, right? So Thursday we have Sarah.
Pokemon.
That
No, I was lacking.
with
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all. Yeah. So Sarah's gonna try and catch some Pokemon and then try not to kill others. It's a journey. It's
A very
Odyssey.
harrowing journey.
That
Yeah.
journey.
Nuzlocke challenge
Brutal.
journey.
How close are you to finishing that,
I
by
have
the way?
no idea because I can't remember any of the rest of the game, so I'm just
How many
going
badges
through
do you
it.
have?
I know you were like, I don't know what to do now.
I don't know what to do now. 4 badges, I think.
The 4? How? What?
Amazing. Yeah, and then on Friday we have the Scrivener's Tale again with our fave
More ghosts.
characters, some more ghosts. There's a ghost,
Brother
there's a zombie.
Gee.
We're gonna die.
There was a big stone guy. 3 of them. Yeah. So that is probably the last one of that.
Yeah. Our one shot will
Probably.
hopefully end
Alright, it
with
was
session
never
7.
one.
What do
just
you
didn't tell
mean,
you about that
hopefully?
And Guy is on 1 hit point, I believe. What, like Parik is
Yep.
on 3? I don't know.
We can't
Eric.
heal.
And I have 2 curses.
You can't heal. You got 2
Yeah.
curses. Boss battle. Let's go.
It's gonna be rough.
I mean,
yeah. Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
in triple numbers now.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Could have been that
Yeah, so
like 2
that
sessions ago.
is what is happening there. Oh,
Oh, Sam
Sam did
disappeared.
not agree with that. Did not like that.
Fallout happening this weekend or no?
Sunday,
Yes.
I believe. Yeah.
Fallout is happening Sunday, I think. Because you just come back on, Doran. That's great.
I know.
Yeah.
When Sam left, I took the opportunity to turn on the camera, so
Yeah.
I could just do this.
That's great. Yeah, it's frozen again, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I froze myself staring at the camera.
Nice. Well done. Yeah. Yeah. So Fallout is on Sunday, and I am super excited about it. I have fleshed out my sort of my backstory. I don't really know how much of a backstory you can have after the end of the world happened, but yeah, I'm excited. I have an accent that I've never done. I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Bah, cool.
Nice.
Excited.
That is it. We're gonna raid over to Kaz. If you can join in the raid, that would be super useful and helpful to
Say hi.
Kaz as well.
Show
Say
some
hi.
love.
Show some love for Kaz and also the hot tiefling that he's drawing right now.
Hot tiefling.
And also, don't forget we have a Patreon, and if you want to look for us online anywhere, we're Fumble Folks.
We are absolutely
Pretty much
Fumble
everywhere.
folks
Yeah.
everywhere. Yes.
Fumble folks everywhere.
Hashtag.
TM.
Yeah, Fumble Folks everywhere.
Correct.
Hashtag.
Yes. Yes, we are. And that is us for the evening, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thumbs up.
Even though you can't see the thumbs up.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Oh,
Imaginary hand hot.
yeah.
I'll do an extra thumbs up for you.
Yay!
Thanks.
And this is what Doran's doing, I believe.
Yes.
Sarah's doing nothing. Cool.
I don't know what to do. I'll do both. There you go.
Sarah is tired,
Yeah.
which is fair.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Bye.
I'm waving.
Same.